So anyways, thank you all so much for being here tonight and for being a part of all this hype and this show. Again, all bits go towards the mods to thank them for their hard work. And if you'd like to support us, you can do through the pally. It's fine. We're just
Words.
getting started. It's fine.
Warm up.
Words are hard. Yeah, this is our warm up.
Mhm.
Warm up stream.
Yeah, warm up stream. Everything's fine. It's all good. I just need to play some Waluigi music and I'll feel better. So
That's a coping mechanism.
we're all getting by somehow. It is episode 6, which means it is the last episode. I'm going to be doing a slightly longer and more detailed recap before we get into things, in case anybody is catching the show for the first time tonight. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing that. We're going to find out what everybody's goals are for our finale. And just to let everybody know, the cast always has direct access to me if there's ever a safety concern. I have my Discord DMs open at all times. They're all always able to message me if there's anything that ever comes up. We are using lines and veils. We are using consent surveys. We are using the red heart, yellow heart method for our consent tools. So that's our safety tools. A reminder in chat, no backseating. We love seeing when exciting things happen. We love seeing your emotes. We love seeing your excitement. We love seeing speculation. That means a lot to us. What I would appreciate is if we're fighting a monster, and if you know what the monster is, don't keep track of their HP, or don't be like, oh, druids have access to this spell, things like that. We are using the rule of cool. We're also using improvisation and flying by the seat of our pants. Thank you all again so much for that hype train. That's so incredibly kind. Just a reminder for alerts and things like that, we won't always get to things right away. We try to make sure that we are staying in the moment, staying in our scenes. So if a raid comes in, if you have a moment to say hello to the raiders, and then we'll get back to them in a minute. If you sub or cheer bits before each of our breaks, Candace will take a minute to say thank you. So it's a little different than the rest of the week, but we appreciate your understanding and your patience. And hype for letting us do what we do with so much support and comfort. So thank you all so much for that. Yeah, so let's go over some goals.
What?
What? What is happening?
My cat just walked in front of the
Oh.
There was like just a furry tail for a second there.
Great.
We'll go over some goals and then we'll do our recap and then we'll get into things.
All right.
So let's start with Dragomir.
Yeah. Okay. So the first goal is going to be, now that we've sort of seen into the liquidy mess, to try and find some allies, because I don't know if we're going to be able to deal with the giant massive horde all by ourselves. In the same sort of vein, goal 2 is going to be to get some sort of enchantment or spell cast on my hammer to help me fight what we're dealing with. And goal number 3, the perpetual, help Keswick in dealing with the monster problem, which is hopefully related to the undead, because if not, it's not going to solve the monster problem.
Perfect. Incredible. Let's do Illyria's goals next.
Okay. So they have changed a little bit. This feels pretty dire. So her goals this week are help the wizard find closure or less guilt, determine Apara's motivations for the army, and goal 3 is keep my friends alive.
It's a good goal.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So.
Yep.
That's
It's
gonna be
true.
fun. Quick question: is that
Yeah.
just for semantics? Is that
Mhm.
keep all of your friends alive? Keep most of your friends alive?
The
Keep
goal
some
is
of your friends
the
alive?
goal is to keep the 3 of these chuckle f***s alive.
Okay,
Madden,
I
that's
just
on my
wanted to
resume.
clarify that.
Yeah. Certified chuckle.
I like it.
100%.
So It might be a very easy goal. Maybe we don't fight. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
Only one way to find out. Yeah. Let's do Fell's goals next.
So first goal is, as always, find the Australian red leaf. I'm going fully into we're fighting today. So goal number 2 is chop something or someone in half from head to butt. So that's goal number 2.
Colorful.
And then goal number 3 is bite out something's jugular. I'm
Also colorful.
doubling down on a fight. So
I love that for you. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then, Candace, do you want to do Meep's goals? And then also, did you want to address that hype train while you're at it too?
Yes. So Meep's goals, 2 are the same from last week. One is buy a 300 gold flower to summon Fae. My next goal is find the most perfect hat in the whole world. So far we have magical thread to make it, but we're looking for a needle. And then my last goal is I just want to wreck someone's day. So me wreck somebody's day is her goal. So I love how Illyria is like, keep my friends alive. I'm like, I want to somebody over. Like, anyway.
So, let's do a flashback.
oh god.
Our adventuring party met around a month or so ago when they were all passengers on a ship. And then like there's this dragon and it sneezed, and then the ship caught on fire and went barreling towards the earth, and there was an explosion and like a bunch of people died. But our adventurers didn't. And they began to explore the place that they crash on. In that time, we learned a few things about the world. We have learned that this is a world that there are no stars in the sky. We have learned that this is a world where undead creatures have never been a thing. They were unheard of and unseen in this world. And we have learned that aberrations were also not a thing in this world that anybody had any information about. As our players began to explore this island, they found a bar full of transparent people, and one non-transparent person. Then they ventured further. They found a cave. They fought a door. Fell had a bath in a lake. Meep had a bath in a tub with a giant brain that tentacled her very hard, and she almost died. Get your tentacles in the chat. And then they went forward and they ended up fighting an illithid, which is an aberration, which was everybody's first time seeing an illithid. That was our one shot. And then we picked up a few weeks later after our adventures had been traveling because Dragomir had gotten word from Keswick that there was a monster problem in the continents of Alda and Mars. So they were traveling down through the jungle to get to the keep. But in their time trying to get to the jungle, they were attacked by a dinosaur. And then they tripped as they were running away from this dinosaur and fell into a pocket of the Feywild. When they were there, they met a small fairy with an incredible amount of sass and attitude. They ate some mushrooms. They had a nice time, and they met Apara, who is the Grand Hag and one of the Archfey, and her wife. They asked a few questions. They got some cryptid responses, and then they got booted back to the mortal plane. And then they traveled more through the jungle. They reached the keep. They found out that not only is there a monster problem, but there's an undead problem, which is very new in this world. All of the clerics were panicking because suddenly they had abilities to repel undead and deal with undead. Illyria discovered her ability to deal with the undead. Illyria has also, Fel has died and Illyria has died, but they got better. They
Mini death.
met some reapers, asked some questions, got some cryptid answers, and then they got better. They went to the keep where they fought some shadows because apparently burning corpses isn't the way to get to deal with an undead problem. And then they received a letter to the town asking them, basically the local wizard was just like, I know something about what's going on. Please come talk to me. And so our party traveled through the jungle once more, hiding from a giant unknown monster that is around. And that Meat particularly was just like, oh, I've hid from monsters before. That's something I know how to do. And everybody was like, Meep, are you okay? They made it to the wizard's tower after more hijinks ensued. After learning about more about each other and like getting to know each other as a team, we all had to cry over found family. It was a really nice time. And then they got to the wizard's tower, and then they found out that there was a necromancer living in the wizard's tower
He's
who
cute though. He's
is
cute.
a very cute necromancer living in a tower. And they found out that there had been an accident several weeks prior where the necromancer's brother had attempted a spell that went horribly wrong, and there was an accident. And so the necromancer attempted to basically cast a shield to prevent Burn from collecting on his brother's soul. Um, it didn't quite work. Our party met the ghost of the brother while they were traveling to the wizard's tower, who seems to still be on this plane but is not here physically. They confronted the wizard. They had tea. And then the wizard went upstairs, and they heard a loud bang. They ran upstairs after finding a book on, I believe it was a book on the god of time that they found on the main floor. Um, they went upstairs after hearing a loud commotion. The wizard was casting a spell through the portal. They could kind of see the rumored library of folklore that Meep is from. The wizard attempted to go through it and lost an arm. Meep attempted to stick a finger in it and lost her pinky. And then um, in the large scrying pool in the center of the room, Belle glanced over and saw that deeper in the jungle, the archfey of this world have been amassing a massive army of undead. Um, so the shot we see to open up our session tonight is the same thing that we saw at the end of last week. We see this jungle that is it's very deep within the jungle. The trees are massive, and there are just hordes of undead being led by different archfey. We see the archfey of autumn, who possesses a needle that somebody is looking to get. We see them um put out a hand, and their hands start glowing, and all of these corpses on the ground begin to rise and creak and crack into place as they come to life and pick up rusty swords and shields under the command of Autumn. And then we see a familiar face. We see Apara, who is the Grand Hag who welcomed our adventuring party into her realm. She looks a little different. When you were in the Fey realm, she looked human. She looked about 40 or 50 years old. She had gray hair, and she looked just like small and not particularly strong. When we see her now, it's obviously still her, but now when we see her, she looks undeniably powerful. She has the air of a matriarch. She is no longer shielding her Fey ancestry. So she has long flowing pink hair held back by a golden headpiece. She is wearing battle armor that looks very like Roman and gladiator. She's wearing like a long like white robe with a gold breastplate. At her waist she has a very large sword in a sheath. On her shoulder she has a large like ornamental shield piece with like a wing coming off of it and feathers in gold. Her robes are dark blue, and she takes out her sword and points it into the sky, and at at her feet at the cliff below her hundreds of undead pick weapons up off the ground and hold them up into the sky. And then we see this reflected back onto the surface of the scrying pool in the wizard's tower that Fel is looking into, and we see Apara holding this sword up, and we see these undead.
She lied to us.
She's hot now.
I mean, was she not before? At
I mean,
least a
yeah,
little
but like
bit?
in a different way, you know? Like,
Okay,
yeah,
sure. Okay.
the power wielding part, it's good.
Okay.
But also the undead. Y'all see that? Illyria?
Yeah. I kind of feel a little sick, to be
Anything
honest.
happening? Do you have something up your sleeve, please?
We should.
Your Deva? Somebody?
So
they just give me messages. They don't
Okay.
do anything really.
as you all stand there and this feeling of confusion and perhaps betrayal and all of these feelings wash over you, the wizard necromancer, details aren't important, who's laying on the ground, his wand that he has, sparks flicker out of it, and the room around you glitches. Things start to wave and change, and suddenly the room you were in shifts. And you find yourself standing in a library that most of you only recognize from the portal that the wizard attempted to open.
We made it. Illyria?
Yeah.
Welcome to my library.
Okay. I didn't think this part was very important now that we know there's an undead army.
Why
what
would
do
we
we
go
do?
here? I don't know.
What do we do? How do we get back?
Can I look to see if Meep's finger is on the floor anywhere?
We went through the portal, right? Did we go through the portal?
Kind
So you don't see Meep's finger anywhere. But as you go to move and look, the way you move feels like you're dreaming. It doesn't feel right.
Meep goes up to some of the books and runs her fingers across them. Can she feel them? Are they actually there, or is it a
You can feel them, but it doesn't feel. It feels more like a cloud than it does like a book.
something feels really wrong? Everybody, this doesn't feel right. We're here, but we're not here.
Why are we here? Why were we sent here?
How? Also,
Ask the hot
So
wizard.
wait, is he with us? Is he on the floor with us, or is
The wizard?
he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's passed out on the floor next to you.
passed out.
Okay.
He lost an arm.
I lost a pinky, so and I'm still here.
Is he stable? Like, is he
yeah,
bleeding
like,
out?
thank
Do I
you.
need
I'm
to?
He's stable. Yeah, he's
Okay, I was
stable.
like, do I need to
but
pump
he's
some healing
unconscious.
into that?
I think
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you did last time. I think you stabilized him.
I walk
Okay.
up to him and I kick him with the inside of my right foot, and I see if I can get
Your
him to
foot
wake up.
passes through him.
Is he a hologram?
Is he what?
That was
Is he a
you,
hologram?
Meep.
I
Does
think
my
he's a
hand just go
hologram.
through me? Like, are we like?
It doesn't go through you, but that might be a psychological thing.
Does it go through each other?
Can I go
Like,
through?
what
Yeah.
happens
Can I
if
stick
I
my hand
try
through
and
Fel?
like put my hand on Fel?
So Illyria and Dragomir both at the same time turn to Fel and go. Your hands pass right through him.
I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Are we in, like, I don't know.
Wait,
What's a plane in between the material plane and somewhere else?
I love books. I never thought they would kill me.
Is this Fel? Is this how it was when the cloud made you dead?
Oh yeah.
GM, is this similar to that?
Well, as far as you're all are concerned, you're still alive, and this doesn't look like it did the last time you died, but I don't know.
No.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I fully died last time. I think
dead?
we're transported somehow, but like
Okay.
Only halfway. But also not halfway at the same time because we're just in both.
We're a little stuck.
If we touch the books, can we pull them out and like
read them.
Hmm.
hold them? Take them with us?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, a saving throw?
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're good. We're good. We're
Are
good.
we?
I think so. I have
I'm depending on you, Lyria.
19.
Okay.
Okay.
19? Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you focus, you can pick a book up.
Okay. Meep, where's the one I need?
It's way up. Way up. It's and she runs down a bit of a hallway to another row of books, and she looks up and there's this one burgundy book at the top.
So, Meep, you run down a hallway. Your footsteps make no sound. But as you get out of like one row of books, we get a shot of the library. And so it's not like the walls are not flat. Everything about it is curving around this massive underground root system with roots bigger than trees. Everything is carved into what's existing. If you don't know where you're going, it's very easy to get lost because paths slant down. If you've played Dark Souls 1, it's like the tree area with the mushrooms. It slants down. All of the walls are made of wood, and it's massive. But as Meep runs out of this one section with books on both sides, there is a large like atrium area that has green filtered light coming down and shining. And Meep, as you're on the corner, there is a desk section in the middle underneath the light that's round. It's ornately carved wood with filigree and patterns of leaves, and you see somebody that you know sitting at the desk paging through a book. And who would you like to be sitting at this desk reading a book that you know?
Bodley?
So Botley gave up their life of adventuring and became a librarian.
I guess I don't know. Not since Meep left, she didn't know.
So do you say that out loud? Do you go Botley?
Yes, she squeals Botley.
So this large purple minotaur. So for anybody who doesn't know, they have like the upper body, like the head of a bull. They're humanoid. And then they have like the lower body of like a man. Is sitting, and like you didn't ever know that he wore glasses, but he has these very small like spectacles that are like very wide to like fit over his nose. And he was paging through a book, and he looks up and he looks at you and he goes, Meep, what are you doing here?
I was gonna
And
ask
he
you
like
the same thing.
gets up and like strides over to you, and he's going in for a hug.
Botley boy, I want a hug. Bring it in, big boy.
So he goes to hug you, and his arms pass right through you, and then close, and he goes, Meep. And as this happens, Meep, the room around you glitches, and you see the top of the wizard's tower again. And it flashes for a minute, and then it goes back to the library.
I just have to ask you a question, Botley.
Of course. What are you doing here?
No time. Are you real? Are you actually here? Like, can I like you pinch yourself or something? Like,
I'm confused about you asking me if I'm real when I tried to give you a hug and my arms passed right through you.
okay, here's the thing. Okay, we need to get that book.
Which book?
I don't have time to explain. I got so many stories to tell you later.
I can't get you a book if you don't tell me which book it is.
The one about fate. The one about the parent of fate and the child of the fate, because my friend Illyria needs it because we're all gonna die.
I'm still learning the Dewey Decimal System.
Botley, I don't have time for this.
I think it's in this section over here. Here, come with me.
Thank you. Can you boost me or something? Do we have a ladder? I'm real short.
So as Meep would know, there are like the ladders on like the slidey wheels like all over the place. But if you would like, Bartley would climb the ladder and be like, "Do you want volume 1, Fate and the Descendants of, or would you like volume 3? I think somebody has volume 2.
One is
No,
fine.
never mind. I don't know how to read Roman numerals. That's a 2. That's a 3.
The burgundy one. The burgundy one. It's the big burgundy one with the gold and the silver.
I can't tell them apart.
Botley, not now. This is not the time. Take your hoof and put it towards one book, and
Is
I will tell you when to
burgundy
stop.
kind of purple?
Yeah, purple bluey, purple ready. Yeah.
He pulls the book out that's blue.
No. Where's the red, Botley? Look at you.
I
Look at the color
don't know.
Look at the color of your fur, your beautiful flowing fur. That
My
plus
fur
a little
looks
more
like
red.
this book.
No, add some red.
He puts it back and he pulls out a green one. Is it this one?
Absolutely not. That's the opposite color on the color wheel. I want you to pull out a burgundy book.
You know I struggle with this. And he puts it back and pulls out another one. Is it this one?
Yes, thank God. Throw it. Chuck it if you have to. I gotta go.
He checks it, and we see Meep holding out their arms, waiting to grab it. Will he make a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
We're gonna assume Meep didn't just run away, right?
Well, Meep ran off. You're welcome
Yeah.
to follow if you would like. So yeah, what's everybody else doing?
I certainly followed.
Yeah. I kind of, when I heard Botley and the screaming and the noise,
We're yelling, yeah.
go.
Oh, I rolled a 2, so 8 with my.
So you're standing there with your arms up, waiting to grab, and the book passes right through you and slams on the floor where your feet are.
Are you shitting me right now? Botley, I appreciate you, but I couldn't even hold
Catch it!
Did you not see me try to catch it? I only have 9 fingers. I don't know what you expect from me.
Since when are you holding 9 fingers?
We gotta catch up, bud. I gotta tell you. Things happen, okay? It hurt a lot. Illyria? I just call for Illyria.
My book. The book. Okay.
on
I'm
the
going
ground.
to take the book.
Okay.
I can do
Yeah.
it.
You concentrate and you manage to pick up the book. And
Thank God.
everybody, like Botley and Meep and Illyria, the other two, it's up to you, like all bring this book over to a table and like slam it down.
Well, I think you see Dragomir standing there going like, got one at the Wizard's Tower, and this is a second one. But like, wasn't this a 3 vault? And it's just kind of counting before he says anything to anybody, going like, did I get that right? Aren't there supposed to be 3 of these? And we have 2? That
Don't
part
look at
says that
me.
loud.
Look at Botley. He's in charge.
What's the other volume then? Did he grab it earlier?
No, I left it. I was told I only needed the purple one.
It was burgundy, Botley. I swear to God.
They look the same to me.
Maybe we need to go off something else besides colors. I don't know what to tell you. Do not
We
read, Botley.
probably need all 3. Why don't we work on this one? And could you grab the other one that Meep said you didn't need, please, if you don't
He
mind?
says, which sounds like if you've ever heard like a calf like snort, it sounds kind of like that. And he's like, does anybody want any books on anything else while I'm doing this?
I don't know.
Oh.
Do you have books about undead or wild magic or
The location
Just
of the
so many
Australian red
things.
leaf. While we're here.
We have a botanical section.
Oh, sweet fella. Why don't you go that way?
Yeah, where's that?
He gives you like a go down this hallway and then like go over this way, and then it's the third tree root on your left.
Turns to the group. Is this important? Like my thing, is that important? I'm having, I'll be honest, I'm having very mixed emotions. I just saw an army of dead, but we're here, and I don't even remember the last time I was here, if even I was here.
You were.
I was.
Mm.
I don't remember the last time I was here. I mean, there's only so much each of us can read a single book, right?
How
So,
much do you know about the god of fate? I think you'll be fine to go look for your plant.
Mhm.
All right, just don't leave without me. Like, like
We'll holler.
I'm gonna go look at some flowers.
Hell yeah. So Botley goes to retrieve the third volume on the Gods of Fate. Fel goes to the botanical section. Fel, when you get there, there is an old goblin woman who's just like putting books back on a shelf.
Would I know them? Or just a complete rando?
It depends if Meep introduced you to her parents.
Yeah. Yep. They met once, only once though, long time ago.
Yeah, so this is Meep's mom.
Does Mom Meep have a name? Mama Meep?
Her name is Ing, I-N-G.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Ing? I-N-G? Ing?
Ing.
Could you run that description by me one more time?
Yeah, she's like an older goblin woman. She's quite short. She's wearing like a hand-knitted shawl. She's like she's older and she's small, but she looks very strong because lifting books is like a lot.
Mhm.
Oh, but we can't interact with any. Okay. Are they looking my way? Like, or is
No,
their back
they're
to
just
me?
putting books up on a shelf.
Can I sneak behind them? Like, try to sneak and like shove my hand through their chest? Like, the playful scaring them, but like trying to like, Ing!
Yeah, absolutely. Make a stealth check.
Oh boy.
It'll be a low DC because she's a librarian. Probably.
Stealth. Do I have any? Oh, I do. I have a +1 to stealth. Hot damn.
Oh yeah. DC 12.
17.
Hell yeah. So you sneak up behind her, and you do bah! And she goes
Found you.
and turns around and looks at you and then goes, Phil! And like goes like that and goes in to give you like a big hug, except she's tiny. And
Goblin hug.
except that her arms pass right through you. And she goes, well, that's new.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, long story short, we're here. Meep's over there. Eventually, I'm gonna assume that she's gonna not be rude and want to say hi to her parents. But you know, whatever. You know, Meep. We were teleported here by some kind of wizard thing. I don't know. Honestly, it's all very confusing, and I don't know. But Army of Dead, we're here. They're reading a book. I wanted to come to the flowers. You know me.
Absolutely. I know how you adventurers are, always going from one thing to the next. And, you know, you being transparent, that just sounds like you're living your best adventuring life.
God, you're
Oh, I'm
always
so
accepting.
happy you're both still doing well. It's
We
so
are.
good to see
Well,
you.
your daughter is missing a finger now, but she's okay.
I'm sure she'll be all right. She always bounces right back.
She really does.
Was there a certain book you were looking for? You said you had a bit of a time limit, so I just don't want to keep you any longer than I need to, because I know I'd love to catch up and offer to put on a pot of tea, but you said you're in a hurry, so I really don't want to keep you too long, so I'll have to learn about the story with the finger the other time.
Unbothered. Just unbothered entirely.
you just teleported me to a conversation with so many family members of just dissociating, like, oh, they're still talking. Oh yeah, they're still talking. Okay. I need a book. Location of the Australian red leaf. I've been trying to find it for years now, and I'm not having much luck. So I don't know if you could help me.
Oh, the Australian red leaf. Let's go to the E section. I'm sure it'll be in the E section. It's spelled with an E, right? I'm pretty sure it's spelled with an E. I'm pretty sure if it's spelled with an A, that's about a place on a different plane entirely.
Oh, no, I don't. That place sounds horrifying. We don't want to ever talk about that place.
Yeah, we call it the Upside Down. Let's go find you your book. And like as she's leading you down the aisle, she just does not stop talking. As she's telling you about everything that's been going on in the library, which is not a lot. In that way that people who talk about nothing can just keep doing. And she brings you down and to like a shelf and still talking, like climbs up a ladder. As she's like up the ladder, it brings her like level with your head, and then she's like reaching to get a book, and she's reaching and it's just like a little bit too far, and she's like talking as she's like stretching. She's like, okay, and then she grabs the book, and then she kind of wobbles a little, but then she writes herself, and then she crawls down the ladder while holding the book, and then she walks over to a table, still talking, and blows dust off of the book and sets it down, and flips to the index, still talking.
King, you look wonderful. How old are you now, if you don't mind me asking? You doing yoga? Are you stretching? Like you're limber.
Oh, I stopped celebrating birthdays after my 300th.
Oh, that's fair. Your hair looks wonderful. I'm just it's been so long. You're just
Oh, thank you so much. I've been starting to mash up avocado and honey and putting that all together.
Oh, that's yeah.
It's been
You
working
you
really
add a little
well,
bit of
but
mint. It really helps just with the shine too.
oh, I'll have to write that down and ask. We'll have to get some mint the next time we get supplies in, because I love the smell of mint, and I feel
Oh,
like
it's
it'll
so
just
good, right?
really, yeah. And she just keeps talking, as she's like flipping through this book, um, and she goes, "Yeah, we couldn't decide if we should put this book in the giants section or not, because you can only get this flower in the realm with the giants, but ultimately it's a flower, so we figured we'd put it in the botanical section."
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, she flips open a book and you see a drawing, and then you grab out your notebook and flip it over and you hold them side by side, and it is the same flower.
Is mine better?
Yes.
Okay. Just wondering. You said okay, and can I like read and gain information on this?
Yeah, so the location of this flower is in the territory of the Cloud Giants, which is in a area of Sky Islands above the I literally have a map I could point to it, but I'm just going to say things that aren't going to make sense for anybody except for me. It's between two continents,
Mhm.
above an area of the ocean where ships cannot pass through because the giants throw boulders at anybody who tries to get there. But it's a Sky Island area that is known for not being able to travel there because there's giants as well as like goblins and kobolds and other people who live there.
Grandma, how the hell did you get over there?
Oh, your grandma must have been one tough cookie to be able to get through there and learn about this flower, because it doesn't exist anywhere else if you take it out of its natural habitat because of the issue with the stratosphere and the angle of the sun. It just won't work. So it dies the second you try and remove it from this area.
Oh, you crazy old how did you do this?
It's a beautiful flower, though. I've only ever seen pictures, but I've heard it's very nice. So I think we fade focus of Fel sitting here being like, "Grandma, what the
Yeah.
as Ing keeps talking. And then we go back to the table. Botley is so like this is just after Fel left. Botley has just gone to go get the other book. So Illyria and Dragomir and Meep are sitting at the table.
Yeah, I'm starting to flip through the book as best I can to find anything that like would be related to what the Reaper said to me, or I mean, yeah, I guess it's like whatever the Reaper said to me, and also what's his name, Doran? Yeah, Doran
The
Cloudfang suggested about true follower of fate to find a follower of Onos.
Okay. So, make an investigation check.
This is gonna be very good. Oh, let me clear this first.
Am I able to move
4.
freely? Oh shit.
What did you say,
There
Candace?
are
Am I able to move freely around, or am I like kind of stuck to this one room?
You can move around.
there's like 3 books, right? Would it make sense if I was helping? Like, would that
Yeah, if
maybe
you want to
give
help, that would give
advantage?
Illyria advantage, so she can do another roll.
Yeah.
I have a +0, but we'll see. 17.
Hey.
There
I'm
you
good at
go.
helping.
Okay.
So
You pointed something
specifically,
out.
you are looking in a book about fates, about information about the followers of Onos, which is the god of time.
Mhm.
Just to give a quick like summary for the people at home that are piecing things together, there are 2 pantheons of gods. There are the old gods and the new gods. There is a new god of fate. Her name is Quimhena. But Illyria found information suggesting that there are true followers of fate, as well as another god of fate who's actually an old god. How much do we know? Like, how much does the audience know about Illyria's Azamar lineage? Have we talked about that?
No.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Um,
No. So the
So-
Azamar limited
lineage.
lineage. I can talk today. Not really at all, but my cleric background, we've talked about that one a lot.
Yeah, so Illyria is a cleric of I have their name up here.
Ranthanos.
Rethanos,
think.
who is love and or not so much love, but like beauty.
Mhm.
And yeah. So you're looking into the old god of fates, not so much the new god of fates, as well as the
Mhm.
followers of Onos, god of time. We don't have a name for the old god of fate, and as you're looking through these books, they just are called fates, and they're not even called like the initial fate because there's nothing about Quimhena, the new god of fate, in here. It's just about the old god of fate.
Okay.
It's mostly folklore, stories, dates, like information for clerics about cleric spells. So the first book that you had read, there wasn't a lot of information. The second book you're looking into, you got a 17. So what you find out is that the temples of time and fate, when they both existed and when they both had large followings, were always intertwined together. Like there was never just a temple of fate and just a temple of time. The two always existed together. And then when the old god of fate died, the following of basically there was no more followers of time. Anybody who was a cleric or paladin of time at that time lost their powers, lost their divine connection, and has since in the centuries past basically stopped having a following, and a lot of the temples fell to ruin. Their name is still in books, but for the most part, they're just there for posterity with very little information.
If these books contain information about the old gods, is there information about the archfey, or because like they would be as old, like they would remember all of that stuff because they remember the stars. Apara at least does.
That's gonna be another investigation check.
I will try. Can I give myself guidance? Let me read.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can give
works.
yourself guidance, and plus you have advantage because I'm pretty sure Dragomir is still helping.
One willing creature. It doesn't say it can't be self. Okay.
Yeah, I would say it can be.
11 plus no, 13.
Any references you see are just in like index material or referencing other books. You don't find any like satisfying information.
Okay. Meep, do you know if these books where they're talking about like Apara and the seasons, if they're here in the library?
A specific book or in that book? Where in that book?
No, it's referencing a different book.
So I don't exactly know at the top of my head, and Bodley has been essentially useless since we got here. This is what I'm
Bodley is
talking
like
about.
walking over with an armful of books in similar shades of red, and just drops them all and goes, "Well, me, I guess," and like walks back over to the desk.
This is what I'm talking about, Botley. You can't be like this around my friends. Sorry.
I'm your friend. I thought I'm new here. I just got this job. Colors looks the same.
We might have to have a conversation about whether or not you can tell the colors apart. But this is the thing. I just need you to behave yourself, all right? These are new friends. We're there's a whole army of undead. I don't know if you understand that. Do you understand that? Maybe?
I can't pass my arm through you. I don't know if this is a fever dream.
It might be. But can you help me? And I'll point to the index reference or whatever and be like, do you know if this book is here?
You're looking for books on the Archfey? Yeah, that's next. Archfey is next to Asmar.
My mom would know where this is.
You want to go find her?
Is she here?
I don't know.
Probably.
Isn't this where she lives?
It feels like a dream. I don't know. Meep like takes off running. Her cape is like flowing behind her down the hallway towards where her mom would probably be.
I will run after her and follow her as well.
Does Dragomir
get away from me?
What's Dragomir do?
I kind of want to look for books on Zolzotl. So maybe Botley can take me somewhere to find books on Zolzotl.
Asmar and Archfey is nearby because it's A, but Zolzotl is an X, so it's gonna be right at the end. So we're gonna have to. Yeah, fine, follow me. And he like takes down one way, leading you down. So we see Meep and Illyria running one way, and we see Botley leading Dragomir a different way. And then what is Fel reading this book? Is he like writing down like notes about where it's gonna be? What's he doing?
He probably would have written down the notes of like where to find it, all of that and whatnot, and then just fully that person that talking to someone's mom is just, we're here talking, we're like, I love you. So he's kind of like recreating the scene of the brain tank talking to Ing, and like, so I lifted, your daughter wanted to swim in a tank. Isn't that so classically just her with a giant brain inside? So
Meep's always been very curious about the world.
I know. Aang, you have no idea the stories we've gotten into. But I picked her up, and I was just like, I don't know, this is a good idea. And she was just like, shut up, Fel, it's not your opinion. So I picked her up, and I was just like, okay, if you die, I'm not gonna save you, but I'm never gonna let something happen to your daughter. I
as
really,
you're
really
telling
like her
this
too much.
story and you're like putting your arms up and like, you know, like mimicking it, you put your arms up and you blink, and once again the room glitches around you. For a second you see the wizard's tower and you see everybody passed out on the floor, and then you blink and you're back, and Ing is sitting at the table like listening to you and like clapping and laughing.
That's not good.
That's where we're going to take our first break. Just to answer a quick question that I saw in chat when it says remember the stars. When they went to the Fey Realm in episode 1, in this pocket of the Fey dimension that they visited, the sky was covered in stars, because Apara had created this realm to look the way she wanted, and she remembers the time that stars used to exist in this world currently, and everything our party has ever known is an empty sky. So that's what that means. But we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all had a lovely break. I hope you got a snack, stretch your leg, do whatever you need to do to take care of you. So just a quick recap for the first hour of the finale. Our party was standing in a wizard's tower after he tried to make a portal and it didn't work, and he lost an arm and Meat lost a finger, and there's this big scrying pool. But before anybody could panic about that, they blinked and the world glitched and they found themselves in a magical library, which is Meep's home. The only thing is they could kind of interact with stuff if they think about it really hard, but other times their arms just pass through things anytime. If they try to give somebody who is actually there a hug, they kind of pass right through. And every now and then the world around them glitches, and it seems as if they are working on perhaps a limited time frame. Illyria is trying to read about the old god of fate. Fel is looking up a plant and shooting the shit with Meep's mom.
Wonderful
Um,
conversation.
And Dragomir asked Botley, who now works at the library, to show him to the section on Zolzotl. So let's pick up with Dragomir. You finally reached the X section. And there are several books on Zolzotl. Feel free, you can do an investigation check with advantage because Botley is helping you like a good librarian. Do an investigation check and let me know what information you are trying to find.
So I'm trying to find a way to either contact Zolzotl or visit his realm to contact him the hard way, but without dying. So basically, in Dragomir's head, he's thinking, this is the god that doesn't like the dead things. There were a lot of them. Might like to know.
So you basically want to send a letter and be like, yo, there's
Or
a
just
bunch of
scroll myself
undead.
and say hello, without dying. So
Yeah.
that's what I want to look for, is some sort of way to do that. I just rolled
Okay.
this twice, yeah?
Yeah, investigation with advantage means 2 rolls, take the highest. So first roll's an 11.
Big money!
Oh, Dragomir,
Oh, wait, it's flash
Second
20 on
roll's
the
a
screen for a second.
Oh.
Second roll is a 12.
Oh.
So what you find is basically like go to a temple of Zolzotl and pay a large amount of gold to a priest to cast a spell that basically like sends them a message in like 25 characters or less to be like, yo, what's going on? And then they give you a message back. The only information about how to get to his realm is dying. There's nothing more helpful than that, unfortunately.
Dragomir just puts his hand in his head and goes, I've already been the damn temples all over this world. This is not helpful. Let's head back to where everybody else was. There's nothing in here. And just like tosses the book as he's going, because he's like really wanted to find some information.
Yeah. So we pick up with Meep, who is running, and Illyria, who is running after Meep.
Mhm.
And we hear Fel being like, and I lifted her up like this. And Meep hears that, and we hear like Meep turn and listen. And we just get another like shot of Meep. Meep looks like an elf. Meep definitely looks like an elf. Except I believe she's like 4 foot something.
4 foot, period.
And then we get a shot of Meep running into the room where she can hear Fel talking. We see Fel telling the story, maybe blinking a couple times because he just had a vision of the world around him disappearing. We see Meep's mom sitting at the table, who is definitely a goblin. And then I want to hear what Meep does, who she goes up to, what she does, but I want to afterwards hear Illyria's reaction to what she sees.
So we're booking it down the hall. Meep's cloak is just flowing in the wind behind her. She stops in the doorway and sees Ing, her mom, and Fel, and her bare feet squeak on the floor as she stops. And she goes, whoa, Mom! She flashes her pointy teeth and she runs in right up to her mom and puts her arms out for a hug.
Make a wisdom savings throw to hug your mom.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, yeah, Illyria, you hear Meep yell mom and hug a goblin.
In Illyria's head, she's like, well, she thought Botley was a furbolg and he was a minotaur. This checks out. Okay, this is fine. That would explain the pointy teeth and the green skin.
It checks out.
Okay, so Illyria's like cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, sure. Meep, you've managed with that wisdom saving throw. You can hug your mom and you don't just like pass right through.
Oh, it works. So she's just happy that she can hug her and is like, even though there's a little bit of tension between Meep and her family, she's just so happy to see her mom after everything that's happened. So she's just ecstatic.
Yeah, and Meep also knows that you're not going to be here very long, so maybe that helps too.
Yep.
Meep, I do have a question. You seem very excited to see your mom. Didn't you say people here were mean to you?
Are you saying this in front of my mother?
I'm like kind of whispering it, but I'm
okay.
but I'm like, or did you just not want us to know that you're part goblin?
I turn from hugging. I'm still hugging my mom. So I turn my head and I go, Illyria, no, this is not the moment. This is not the time. Listen to me.
But I'm not confused about the goblin part. I'm just confused about what you said.
Okay, I'm a goblin. It's fine. Just listen. I'm half goblin. They're mean. Yes, they're mean. Just let me hug my mom. I had to do a wisdom saving throw. Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
You seem very excited to be here. I'm just getting mixed messages.
I just lost the pinky where we last were, so where we are here is better, and my mother is here, and I'm trying to get 300 gold so I can summon Danny back, okay? So
what? Are you just trying to scam your mom?
I'm telling you, do you want to have someone pay or not?
Illyria just stands in shock, like, why does she need to scam her mom?
Do you have 300 gold?
No.
Exactly.
Maybe. Close.
Really? Because do you actually have 300 gold? Because I could use that.
What happened to your gold?
As you say that, all four of you at the same time, and like Drakemir, you're winding your way down the hallway, like going in the way of the noise and everything. All four of you at the same time get that same like ringing feeling. You see the wizard's tower for a moment, and then you find yourself back in the library.
Oh.
Okay, we gotta go fast.
I shouldn't have said anything about the gold. I knew it.
Illyria just does not understand a relationship with your mom where you would need to lie.
Oh,
okay.
Ing. Go ahead. Mine is not important.
I was just gonna say we gotta go fast. Okay, in and out. We might not be here much longer.
Absolutely. I know how you adventurers are always hurrying from point A to point B, and it seems like this wasn't a planned detour, so please let me know what you need, and I'd be so happy to find it. It's just so good to see you, and I heard that you lost a pinky, but I heard that you're doing okay, and you saw that big brain thing, and I just hope that it's just so nice to see you. I really wish you'd come and visit more often. It'd just be really nice to see you more often, and like not just like a note thing, let us know ahead of time so I can like call your father. We could make a nice dinner. It would just be really, really nice.
Yeah, what about George, Meep? What about your dad? Have you said hi to him lately?
This is not the time.
It's not. We have no time, Mom.
I need the book.
Wonderful people. They've been nothing but nice to me, and I think you're being rude to Ing and George.
Hi, you must be Ing. I'm looking for a book about what was I looking for a book about?
Time.
Head empty, no thoughts. Archfey.
Oh, you're looking for. Well, we're gonna have to go back the way you came. The book on Archfey is next to the book on Apara and Azamar. It's in the A section with all the other books.
That's exactly what we need.
So
Apara and Archfey.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a whole book about Apara?
Well, it's funny, and then she just keeps talking about nothing in particular.
Can I do something while we're walking in the hallway?
Absolutely.
Hey, hold on. Okay, we're walking. Meep is like right next to her mom and kind of like looking up because her mom is maybe like an inch taller than Meep. Hey, mom. I know I'm just literally just here for a second, but like, do you know how I can summon Fae sometimes?
Oh yeah, the little angry red
Yeah, I did it again. I did it
with
again,
with
and
the knife.
yeah, Danny, it helps so much. It helps so much. But the problem is that I am out of gold.
Oh well, that is an expensive spell. I told you not to cast it unless it was absolutely necessary.
They
She
were
told you.
undead. There were shadowy creatures, and we beat them. It was great. Danny helped, but I'm thinking we're gonna need his help again. But I can't.
Roll persuasion with advantage because it's your mom.
Okay. Wait. How do I do that?
Make sure you've cleared the roll from before, and then it
Yep.
should be in the skills section.
Okay. Skills. Third.
You have a
Persuasion.
+0, so it's just a flat d20.
Gotcha. Wait.
And then advantage means you roll it twice and take the higher roll.
All right. 8
Go
and
first roll.
then 16. Doubled.
She's just like, absolutely, I'm gonna need a little bit of time to go grab the gold and make sure that I can make sure it's counted out right. I'll throw in a little bit of extra so that you can make sure you get yourself a nice meal too, because I
That's
know
so nice.
adventuring is really hard and it takes a lot. And she just keeps going.
I miss you, Mom.
Oh, it's so good to see you. You know we always miss you and we're always supporting you, and it'd just be nice to see you a little bit more often. And if you could write home a little bit more often, it'd be nice if we could hear from you more than just like once every other week. If twice a week would be really nice.
More sending spells. I know. Okay, I will absolutely do that. I'm so sorry. Fel and I will come visit at some point. I'd love for you to get to know Illyria and Dragomir more. But like, it was really important to me that we could bring Danny back. So thank you.
Literally requires no effort to do a sending spell to your mother. I've been telling you that
Christ.
this entire time. We've been traveling for how many years now?
Fel, where are your parents?
What is happening right now? We're extorting your mom and you're being mean to Fel. Stop it.
Extorting? We could die, Illyria.
I don't think we need Danny to not die.
I'm doing what I can.
Okay. All right. I'm looking for my book.
Where's Dragomir?
So,
through all of this? Is he still looking for information?
Oh, Dragomir would have found you, and like as you came out of the hallway into like the main area again, Dragomir would have been there.
Okay, so he's
yes,
met my mom. Cool.
Yes, now.
Okay.
Ing, this is Dragomir. He's such a good person. He's really, really awesome.
This is my mom, Dragomir.
Aren't you an elf?
Technically, my dad. Yeah.
Wait, you've been telling people you're an elf?
Fel, listen, okay. People are kind of judgy.
No, Ing is a god. Wait, did we
You never
not
seen a goblin?
No. I'm like, is she using a spell to look like a goblin? I thought you were an elf.
Goblin.
So, while you're talking, Ing pulls out like a small piece of copper wire and says, George, if you could come out here, Meep's here, and she brought Fel and some other friends for a quick visit, and she needs to summon Danny again. So if you could just go to my side table and grab the pouch of gold that's there, and make sure there's enough for dinner too. And like as she's doing that, like this piece of copper wire just disappears. And then she climbs up a ladder. And we see her finger, and we see a very thin book that just says Azamar. And then next to it, there's a book that says Apara, and then next to it, there's like a section on Archfey, and she like does like the finger thing over, and then she's like, "Which one did you want again?"
Apara and Archfey, I guess.
Okay, so she grabs the book on Apara and she's like, "Which book on Archfey? There's a whole series."
Which Archfey did we see in the vision?
Autumn?
You saw Apara and you saw Autumn.
Autumn.
Oh, good, lots of A's. This is great. And she grabs them. Has like one arm full of books and makes her way down the ladder. And puts them on the table. And then we hear a shuffling sound, and we see another goblin shuffle into the area who's holding like a little bag of gold. And it's like, Meep, it's so good to see you. How are you doing?
Who are you?
Meep, that's your dad.
That's your
Oh,
what do you mean,
father,
who are you?
Meep.
Oh, sorry. I was in the castle for a second. I'm back. Hi, Dad. It's so good to see you. She runs up and just like gives him tries to give him a big hug.
Well, those are both goblins, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've seen goblins. These are clearly not elves.
Yeah. Was that not a discussion we had as a group before, like when you met the two of us? That like
She told us she was an elf.
I was told elf.
kinda
yeah,
look like an
no,
elf.
that's not. Yeah, kind of half and half.
What?
But they're both goblins.
I don't think that's how math works, Phil.
Oh, that's true.
They're
As you're all like standing there in confusion, there's another like ring as like you all like feel this like shaking feeling again and see the wizard's tower, and it lasts like a little bit longer than last time. And then you find yourself in the library again, and like Meep's dad is saying something about his bonsai tree that he's been taking care of.
Oh, you still have you been putting the coffee grounds into the dirt like I told you, George?
Of course I've been doing that. The last one died, so I'm gonna take every tip that I can get. I
Oh.
bought a new pair of scissors that I got recently
that's
for the
good.
clippings.
Uh-huh. Are you
And
clipping against the grain or with it? Because it determines on how the nutrients get to the leaves.
I've been going against the grain.
No, you have to go kind of with it. You're cutting the like.
Oh, we don't have time for this.
We don't have time for this.
We always have time for proper plant care. Thank you very
You
much.
two do that then. Okay. The books.
So you slam the
Uh,
books on the table. Which one do
yeah.
you open first?
Apara.
Is it blank? There's no words in it.
What the? Why is this book empty?
Oh, that's the funny. This is Meep's mom. That's the funny thing I was mentioning is we have the book, but sometimes people don't want information about themselves visible, so they obscure things based on what they want people to know.
Neither of these books is going to be helpful to me then, I think.
Did we
Well-
open the other one?
Sure, we can open the other one.
So in the other one, there's just like very like folklore and like not a lot of helpful information about Apara. There's nothing about a pocket dimension that you visited. There's nothing about her wife. It's just like fairy tales about fey creatures. And like there's like some stories about like there's information for warlocks in the book. There's information about like if you would like to try to make a pact, what kind of ritual you would do. But there isn't actually like it's missing information that makes you question the validity of the book.
Okay. I'm out of ideas. Dragmar, what was your idea? Where did you go?
I went to go look for some information on Zolzadel because I was thinking that's a lot of undead. They might like to know. But all I found was that the only way to contact him was dying. And I don't really want to do that.
Well, most of the information about gods in the Archfey and other creatures of power is kept within the restricted section because if we keep that out on like the main floor of the library, the gods get very upset with us. And so we're able to have this information for posterity, but where it's very limited about who's actually able to. And as that happens, we see Meep putting a bag of gold into her robes. Um, Anybody who would like to try to remain here any longer is welcome to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna go click that button. I want
Yep,
to.
I'm gonna
I
do
want into this restricted zone.
a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, DC 16 to stay in the library.
Oh, I just met it. 16.
Okay, so Fel stays.
Bye, everybody.
Dragomir
I got
poofs.
it. I'm here.
Meep is here.
21.
Ooh.
Okay, so you all feel a ring, and everybody tries to like summon up the willpower to stay there. But Dragomir poofs, and you are back in the wizard's tower.
What's going on in the tower? Like, is there anything I should be like actively concerned about, or
Are our bodies there?
Yeah, everybody's bodies are on the floor, so you like come to laying on the floor. The wizard, like he kind of like stirs a little bit, like he doesn't like he's not conscious, but he moves. So you have a feeling that he also got zooped back. He's unconscious, so technically he automatically fails the saving throw. But like there's no more like glitchiness, like you feel very grounded. And like the portal that had been open in the air is gone, and everything is calm. It's very quiet compared to the everything that's been happening recently. So everybody who remains, each of you tell me one thing that you would like to do.
I was gonna ask, actually, can I roll a
Go ahead.
perception check or just something to like see? Because I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out what I want to do. To like, if Fel would remember just something offhand that was said that we've learned that could help in the situation, like what to look for or insight. I don't know what that would be, but
If you wanted, like if you don't feel like there's anything that you're like screaming to do, you could help somebody else with what they're doing.
okay.
So do you want to hear what the other two are doing and then come back to
Yeah.
you? Okay.
yeah.
Illyria.
Well, essentially, Illyria is trying to stay to keep an eye on Meep.
Illyria's just like, okay,
I'm like,
done
I
what
think I have all the information that I can look for. Like, these are all the leads that I had coming into here. Let's make sure Meep doesn't extort her parents for too much.
And then what would Meep like to do?
Meep is really excited because she hasn't been back to her quote unquote home in quite some time. So she wants to run to her living quarters, like her bedroom area, because she has something she wants to give to Illyria.
Okay, so Fel and Illyria see Meep go running. Do you say anything to your parents as you're like running off?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah, okay.
I
So you
I
say,
run off.
I'll be back. You run off. Do you two follow?
I will follow.
How much? Okay, I'm trying to remember. How much have we learned? It's Zolzotl, right? Is the
Zolzotl is
one.
the god of death.
How much have we did we as a group learn about Dragomir's plan of like what he's trying to do, or like what he's hoping to do?
Like with when he was looking for the book, I think he told us everything.
Because I'm trying to figure out if it would make sense for Fel to want to go into the hidden section to look up more info about Zolzotl for his friend. But I don't
Yeah.
remember if we know enough as a party that he would
Um,
have that inclination.
So as a DM, if you're trying to help out Dragomir, I think the two things that would cross your mind is search the restricted section for information about Zolzotl. Or the other thing that Dragomir has mentioned is that he fought in an arena. And he doesn't know where this arena is, but he would like to. So those are the two leads you could follow. One of them was easier than the other.
Let's let the dice decide, why don't we? Okay. What would that be? 1 through 10, Colosseum, 11 through 20, Zolzotl? Let's go find some stuff about Zolzotl.
Okay, so we'll come back to you in a second. We come back to Meep and Illyria like ran down through a tree root section that got smaller and smaller. So Illyria, you end up having to like crouch quite a bit. And as you're running again, like your footsteps don't make any sound. And then you get to Meep's corner of the library. What does Meep's room here look like?
Meep's room is it's cozy. The air is damp, but not in an unpleasant way, in a nice way. Like when you breathe and it's kind of like when you're at the swimming pool and yeah, like it's a nice damp area. There's moss on the floor. She's barefoot, so you can kind of squish noise as she walks through. There's a little trickle from a waterfall in the corner that's there just coming out of some of the tree roots. It smells fresh. It smells like fresh a freshly mowed lawn. And her bed is just it's a root. It's a tree root that's kind of come out into the room. And she's just got different blankets and mossy pillows around there. And it's just very green and cozy and warm. And there are also some drawers under the bed and in the wall, like in the actual roots of the tree. And shelves with trinkets.
Amazing.
Tons of them.
And so we see Meep go digging for something.
She starts pulling out the drawers underneath her bed specifically and just like shoving stuff into one corner. And it's got to be here. I know I have it. I've been thinking about it for so long, unless like this is not really actually the library. Maybe it's not really the library. It's a fake library. And then she finds it and she goes, oh, perfect. And she looks at Illyria and holds up a brass hairpin that is intricately like spun and spiraled around to look like a tree. And at the roots are holding something. It's a red and orange gem, a gem that she doesn't really know what kind of gem it is, but it's shiny, and Meep like shiny things. So she looks at Illyria and says, I think it looks so good in your hair.
What? This is for me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I haven't been able to get back here, but it reminded me of you, and I knew I had it in this drawer. I knew it.
Can I grab it?
Yeah, and I think as your hand closes around this jewel, and it feels warm to the touch. It feels warm in your hand. And as you look down at it, both of you blink and wake up in your bodies back in the wizard tower. And Illyria, you have this gem in your hand, which still feels like warm to the touch. What's Dragomir doing?
So, was there some amount of time between? Like,
There was a couple of minutes, so like not a lot, but there's a couple minutes.
Basically, what I wanted to do is sort of prop them up so that they're not just like literally fell onto the floor. And there's kettle downstairs for making tea. So I want to put on some tea or coffee for everybody.
Yeah, so both of you blink open. You're in like restful, like but like nice positions, and then like literally Fel is not Fel. Dragomir is like handing you cups of tea as you wake up.
Thank you.
Just wake up at a tea party. Just oh god.
Well, I'm thinking it kind of like sucked a little bit to wake up, and a nice warm cup of tea would have helped me. And so, you know.
Yeah, and then Fel. So you were trying to find more information on Zolzotl to help Dragomir. Do you have anything more to go off of than that?
Out of game, I'm honestly trying to remember like what Fel would know, because I'm trying not to just metagame it. So I am trying to find a reason for Fel to know, but I'm spacing on what would have led him to find or wanting to find more info.
There's 3 things for sure that Fel would know. That my 2. Yeah, 3. 1, my wife is dead. Dragomir's told you that. 2, when I found out that Apara had a dead wife, Dragomir's mood completely shifted. And 3, he ran up, banged on the door, and asked her specifically how she did it. That's kind of all that you would know about Dragomir's interest in Zolzotl. And what he literally told you was, let's talk to the god of death to deal with a zombie horde, because like that seems like a plan. That's like all the things that I can think of.
Okay, I guess in character choice would be trying to find information of if the god of death would ever make a deal like bringing people back who've been gone for a while, if that's ever been recorded or if there's deals that can be done to do that and whatnot.
Yeah, so Phil would know because he's been to this library before that there is a section where there is a very large set of French doors that there are like tree branches intricately woven through with like stained glass in between. And that there are no keys, there are no handle, and anytime you've seen somebody go in and out, which is very, very rare, they just walk through the doors with they like as if it wasn't there. So I think Meep's parents are near the desk because Meep said that she would be right back. So they're waiting by the desk.
Oh.
And so they are distracted.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess I'll try walking through the door.
Okay. So when you try to walk through the door, everything stops for a moment, and you hear a voice in your head ask, "Why are you here?"
To see if I can bring peace to a friend.
And then the voice says, "You're trespassing on knowledge that is not meant for more people. Why should we let you in?"
Because throughout all of my travels, I don't know if I've met a soul as pure as the person I'm trying to help.
Make a persuasion check.
I still have inspiration.
Use it. Use it.
That's a D4?
Inspiration?
Yeah.
If you're using like inspiration, like GM given inspiration, it's advantage.
Okay. Oh, and you said persuasion?
Yeah.
I was looking at perception. No, I don't have anything. Okay, come on. Come on. 18.
Okay. You are permitted to pass through the doors.
Okay.
So you find yourself, the tree motif is gone. You find yourself in an area that is large with like lots of geometric shapes. Like there is intricate details that are like gold and brass, and there are shelves floating through the air. Like as you look up, it stretches into an area larger than you've ever seen before. And there are just like bookshelves that are like rotating through the air with other shelves. And you can hear a faint, like mechanical, like whirring.
Dragomir, if I die in here, I'm gonna haunt you.
And then as you're looking around, you see what looks like a horse at a distance.
Why are you typing? What are you typing?
Yeah, what's up over there?
What is going on with the typing?
Don't worry about it. Yeah, there's like a golden horse in the distance.
I'm gonna walk towards the horse. I don't think I'm gonna walk towards the horse.
Okay, so the horse that you see as you get closer is gold, and instead of being covered in like horsehair, is covered in like these gold scales. It's kind of like a dragon actually, because it has like, you know how dragons have like the scales and then they have like the belly section that's like a different color. It has long flowing white hair and a large Pegasus horn, and then it also has like a large like flowing beard. And it turns to you and it doesn't move its mouth, but you hear a voice in your head. Speak in Celestial. Do you understand Celestial?
I was just looking for where the hell do I have my language? No.
So even though you know you don't speak this language, you understand it anyways. And it says, "Hello, Fel. You have been permitted to come in here. What can I help you find?"
Oh, you know my name. I I am traveling with someone who has lost their other half years ago, and I'm looking to help him find the piece of that he lost. I'm hoping to help a friend.
Please speak plainly so I can do my job.
Okay, I don't understand why we have to get so Fel, it's okay. My friend is looking to make a deal with Zolzotl to bring his wife back.
Okay, so you're looking for books either on undead or on bargaining with Zolzotl. Which would you prefer?
Bargaining.
Understandable. Please wait just a moment. And you see it like fly up into the air and approach a shelf, and like a book like floats off. Um, and the creature like flies back down to you, like moving its like hooves through the air with the book floating, and puts it down in front of you, and it says, "This is everything I have on bargaining with Zalzotl."
I'll try to read the book.
Yeah. So, what do I want this to be?
Just face melts.
Make a religion check.
Oh, I think I weirdly have stuff in religion, don't I? Nope, never mind. Who the do I think I am?
Somebody else.
Yeah. Come on, come on, don't me. I will take a picture that's a natural 20.
So, Fel has complete understanding of what just happened to him. He has been given information on what to do, but the information in his brain has been it's basically been put there, but he only has access to so much of it at a time. So, he's given a step 1, and he understands that after he does step 1, each step will follow. He understands that this information is given in this way because otherwise his brain would melt. So he's given us step 1, which is basically to get to open up a conversation with Zilzotl. In order to do that, Zilzotl needs to be able to see him. And so Fel gets an instruction to ask Illyria.
Okay. Okay.
And as he says that, the creature in front of you bows deeply and gracefully and says, "Thank you for visiting the library." And then you feel yourself pulled backwards. You see like the shelves like elongate on your side, like in a sci-fi movie. You feel yourself pulled back from the doors into the regular library. You see Meep's parents, and you like literally hear them go, "Well, that's the adventuring life, isn't it?" And then you find yourself, you pop back, and you're in the tower, and your friends are having tea.
Ing and George, I met someone potentially. Bye. Bye. Just Ugh.
So I see fell in this mess of like rainbowing onto the floor. And I just kind of pat him on the shoulder and offer him some of the tea because I made it for everybody.
You owe me so big.
What do you mean?
Who?
And before you have a chance to answer, there's a knock on the door. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had an excellent break. I hope you stretched and got a snack or did whatever you need to do. I definitely didn't talk to Destiny about secrets, so that's totally fine. If you're joining us recently, just to give a brief recap about what has happened this session so far, our adventurers... Actually, before I do that, I just want to say again, any bits tonight that you spend in chat are going towards the mods to thank them for the hard work that they are putting in. We have so much appreciation for the mods and what they're doing tonight. So any bits spent in channel tonight go towards the mods. If you'd like to support us, !DnD, we have a Pally set up. That is how we are taking care of ourselves, as well as paying for the assets and things that we've been using on stream. So !DnD will link to the Pally. Because you all are the reason that we are able to do what we're doing. So thank you so much. The story so far is that our adventurers basically saw an army of the undead being led by fake creatures, some that they knew, and they're kind of like, wait, hold on. But before they could ask any questions, they found themselves somewhat astrally projected into Meep's home, which happens to be a massive library of legend that has more information on everything than anywhere else in the world. Found out some information about a tree. Meep got her allowance, and
She did what she had to do.
Illyria tried to do some research and found that there were some blockages in information. Dragomir tried to find out some information on Zolzotl, but found out the information he needed was in the restricted section. And then there was a snap, and Dragomir was forced back into the wizard's tower. There was Meep and Illyria went to Meep's childhood bedroom. Meep gifted Illyria with I believe it was like a hairpin.
It was a brass hairpin. Hairpin. Yeah.
Hairpin. That looks
A
like
hairpin?
a hairpin.
Does it
that
look like
looks
a
like
pin?
a tree?
It looks like a tree. And it has a jewel in it. Yeah.
That has a really beautiful jewel in it. That's like a glowy, orangish reddish, kind of like Illyria's hair. It was a really touching moment. And then they were zooped back to the wizard's tower, and then fell. Oh, and also the last thing Meep said to her parents was, "I'll be right back." And then fell was given passage into the restricted section of the library where he met a magical celestial horse that gave him information on how to contact Zolzotl, but didn't give him all of that information at once, so it doesn't melt his brain. The only information Fel was given was to ask Illyria. And then Phil was pulled back from the library and out of there, and also sent back to the wizard's tower, where Dragomir is serving tea, because Dragomir got there first, so he made tea for everybody. And as they're all sitting there going, what the there was a knock on the door in the wizard's tower in the middle of the jungle. It's fine.
Do we answer that?
Probably have to.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do otherwise.
I don't like this wizard's tower. I don't feel good about this one, y'all.
Let me answer it. I'm less squishy. If it's just an attack, if it's something bad, let me do it.
Are you okay after coming back? You were looking a little rough.
Oh yeah, no, I'm great. I met a unicorn thing. Your dead wife, bringing her back. We had to talk to Illyria. Let me go open this door really quick.
Casual, bring it up. That's great.
Okay.
He ain't got
So-
much charisma, so
Standing when you open the door, there's a figure that none of you have seen, but we, the audience, have seen. Last week,
shit.
before we started our episode, we had a vision of a person walking through the sand. They were covered head to foot in different scarves and cloth, and they were wearing a gold mask with a carved face into it, but we couldn't see any of them. But we know they had a spellcasting focus that was a hourglass where the sand looks like stars, and that they were able to teleport. So none of our characters have seen this person before, but we, the audience, have seen them. So this person is standing at the door, brushing sand off themselves, and they go,
Are you here to kill us or help us? Sorry, I don't mean to be blunt, but I just need to know what I have to prepare for.
well, that's rude. And then just kind of like go to walk past you.
Well, that's rude.
Why are you acting like this is the first time we met?
I just kind of look at him and go, listen, that's just sorry. That's kind of just fell. You get used to it. He's
Thank you,
actually pretty
Dragomir.
awesome.
I
if
thought he
grows
finally got
behind-
used
Wait,
to
what?
me.
How do you know his name?
Who?
We've met before.
No.
When?
Who?
Oh, wrong timeline. Okay, sorry.
What?
What?
When?
That's what I want to know is when. Okay, hi, hello.
Hi.
I know all of you. We've met before, but apparently not in your timeline. It's fine.
You want some tea?
I would
We
love
do
a
have
cup
tea.
of tea. Why are
Dragomir
you
made some.
always the voice of reason? Thank you so much.
Oh my god. I'm gonna like you.
But okay, can you introduce yourself now
Yeah.
so we can know who you are?
Right. Sorry.
I like them.
It's just I know all of you, and so I didn't realize that for you all this was the first time us meeting, so it's just a little bit weird.
Mhm,
Illyria, you've been looking for me, cleric,
Wait.
Monos, all of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
hello.
yes.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so much easier every other time when you already know who I am.
Well, what's your
Okay.
name?
You wouldn't know that either. Okay, I don't have one. I'm just
Oh,
it's complicated. Well, I explain a different time probably, but
Okay.
Can we just give you a nickname?
Sure. Yeah,
Shiny
I
face.
think shiny face.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember this now. Oh, jeez.
Apt.
Okay.
okay. Right, I'm supposed to find you. That's what that's what my Deva said.
Yeah,
No, my
and
Deva
you
said to talk to a Reaper, and the Reaper said to talk to you.
Okay, well, if I remember correctly, you've told me before that the first time we met, I should just let you ask me questions because apparently if I info dump, it's too much information and a little overwhelming. So,
I don't know what I'm supposed to ask. I just was told to find you.
I was told by you not to give you too much information, and I don't know what you
that's
know right
fair.
now.
Okay, so Undead Army, Apara, Archfey.
Yeah, so you're kind of supposed to be there.
Oh,
Somebody
why
made a
are we
mistake
here?
somewhere. I'm not sure, but when you're ready, I can get you close.
Okay,
Okay.
are we ready? Wait, do we have to fight this army?
Well, that's kind of up to you.
Oh, okay. I really wanted to help this wizard. Is he coming too?
Would you like him to come? We could. What's one more at this point?
I mean, maybe not. He's probably fine.
We could come back here later.
Yeah, we definitely need to come back. Okay.
Okay, yeah, Gavin will be okay. Okay.
Do you all
Where
have
would
any
you like
questions
to
before
go?
he takes us?
Many.
Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Ask your questions. Now's the time.
Do we stop a giant undead horde with 4 people?
Okay. So this is where things get complicated, and you'll get more used to this in time. But if I give you too much information, it
Mm.
causes problems.
Okay. How are you related to the Reaper? Why did the Reaper want me to find you?
It's complicated because, like, long story short, you're in control of your life and your journey. But sometimes people behind the scenes want to give you links to help out other things. Ultimately, what you do is your decision. Um, but sometimes other people would like your help, but there's like rules about interfering. And so these are like loopholes, if that makes sense. I disagree with the system, but unfortunately, I'm not in a place where I can do anything about it.
Okay, Phil, your question, go. If you don't have one, okay, me,
I'm
you.
assuming there's multiple. Oh, you said timelines. Is there one where we all die? Oh, what? Who are we going to die in this battle? Who of us survive?
Meep starts
Who's going to
freaking
take care of the
out.
flowers?
Meep is just pacing.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good. This is not good.
This is not good.
This is not good.
Wait, what do you have to do with fate?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot you don't know that yet. They're connected. Time and fate. They're like connected. Like Dragomir and his wife connected. It's not important right now, though.
Okay.
You can't just drop that.
All right. So, do you know where this army is?
Yes.
Should we tell Apara we're coming first, or can we just go?
I don't. What would you like? It's complicated. When you're ready to go, we can go. Let me know where you'd like to be, and I can get you close. It's hard to get like an exact location. People keep moving. I'm seeing a lot of things at once.
You're so wishy-washy.
I will wait. Well, we have a candle to the archfey, right? Can it go to any of them?
Do you want to use your candle? Like, you can use your candle. I don't have to do anything. I just wanted to, like, you know. Well, again, I thought you already knew me.
No.
Wait, if we ask you to take us where we need to be at this moment, does that work? Can you take us to where we need to be?
See, I can't decide that for you.
Okay. So how close can you get us to Apara? Or we won't know until you try.
Was it?
Pretty close.
Hey,
are you ready?
Alir, wasn't Apara leading the army that we're trying to stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, but where else? Is there somewhere else you would rather go?
Oh, you're suggesting we fight her?
I don't know. Talk to her. I can just send a message first if you want.
It makes me nervous.
Okay, hold on. Let's think about a message.
Really pretty.
What should I send to her?
Why are you leading an undead army? Seems pretty on the
Okay.
nose.
Okay.
What
I'm gonna start casting sending.
Okay.
I think there is like a 5% chance it'll fail, so I guess on that one since she's not in this plane. But what I'm gonna say is,
she is now, right?
Is she on the material plane or is she still in her pocket?
From what you saw in the scrying pool, she does appear to be here.
Oh, okay, cool. Then it'll just get there. Hey, Apara. Saw you were on the material plane. What are you up to? Looking a little suspicious over there. Anyway, talk soon. Love, Illyria.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
The person in the mask shakes their head and goes, "You know, that never gets old." And then you sit and you wait for a minute. And and this person, they go, would I be able to have a cup of tea? If only if there's extra, if it's not a problem, just while we're waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dragomir just kind of pours up the tea. Do you want anything in it? We've got like some sugar and some honey.
2 sugars would be good, thank you. Fel, are you okay?
Huh?
Are you okay? You look like you're processing some things, and I just feel like before we go anywhere, maybe we should talk about that.
There's a lot going on. You're coming in here saying that you've seen multiple timelines, but you can't tell us anything, and we're potentially going to just poof into like an army of undead.
You don't have a
And the
name?
person that's like kind of leading that army was someone I thought we could trust, but then we couldn't. And then I found out that we can help bring back Dragomir's dead wife by talking to Illyria. So that's another little wucky we have to
found out
figure out.
what?
Huh?
You what?
Record scratch.
Yeah, your wife dead.
Yeah.
Bring back, talk to Zozadal, points to Illyria. Important person we got to talk to about that. Ba-boom.
I don't think you mentioned that part before the
I just did.
door.
Well, I just did right now. Yeah, I found like a secret section of the library and I walked in and it was pretty wild. And
And you know that look someone gets when they're processing far too much information at the same time of just like, I don't know how to separate thoughts into words. That's where Dragomir is right now.
Yeah, and we see this person that was sitting with their cup of tea, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was helping, but now you both look confused."
also, I just want to make sure that all of us as a group are aware that we could die. I know I joke and whatnot, and I'm used to the thought of dying because I'm pretty sure every time I go into battle, I was like, yeah, I could die. This is an army of undead, and if we're going to teleport to them, we need to be
So
open to the idea that we could really die.
depending on how strong they are, I could potentially get rid of a lot of them twice. Like,
Okay.
like 30 feet around me. Do you remember that coin that went into
Yep.
that one thing's head?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now that I understand it,
Okay.
I can do that again.
Beautiful.
But instead of just one person getting a coin, any undead in 30 feet of me could get a coin. Or if they're just like, you know, like undead enough and not like very powerful, they might just get sucked away anyway.
Beautiful.
That seems good.
That seems wonderful.
I like that.
So
what about the Brit house named Apara, who looks like they could rip us in half?
well, I'm waiting for her message back.
Anything? Nothing? Yet?
Have I gotten a message back?
Yeah. Nothing?
Not yet.
She's still thinking maybe, or is choosing to ignore my questions.
I think she put you on hold.
Yeah.
She's just leaving me on red, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because it definitely made it to her.
I have a question for Shiny Face.
So...
Yeah.
Okay.
You really don't have a name? Or you're just not telling us the name?
I think I had a name at one point. Probably. I don't really remember anymore.
Can you just describe, Del, what this Shiny Face person looks like again, like quickly?
Yeah, so you can't see any of them, but they have this like gold face mask that is carved to look like a face.
Okay.
Hair?
Their voice is gender ambiguous.
Okay.
They have scarves covering like the rest of like their head, so you don't see any hair. They have like a poncho on, and like it's not quite like a skirt, but they just are like draped in different fabrics so that they kind of, you know how I looked on Halloween in my ghost costume? That's the shape of them, is like generally triangular. Yeah.
Amorphous blob. Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so like do you know Apara? Like you know Apara pretty well?
I know of Apara.
Okay, and Meat pulls out of her pocket the thread, the magical thread that was given to her by Apara. I don't really feel like I trust her very much anymore. Can you tell me if this is okay? Like, is this safe? Is this supposed to be magical? I just want to know what kind of magic.
I could take a look.
Yeah, please. I don't want to knit this and put it on my head and it be cursed.
This person's gotten shakier and shakier the more we've talked to them.
And they grab it and they're like, it looks like thread to me.
Good magic thread?
It depends on your definition of good. Loosely speaking, I don't know how to judge the morality of a piece of thread.
Is it going to turn me into an orc or something? Like, I don't know. Like, is it? It's okay. Like, I don't trust the
If you
Para.
turn into something, it's not because of the thread. Just
Okay,
please
cool.
remember that.
Okay. Wait, what?
I knew I shouldn't have said anything. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
Elaborate, please do. Meep walks up closer to her, looks straight up to them, and looks straight up, straight into their eyes.
Well, you already turned into an
Shiny
elf.
eyes.
I don't know.
Help.
You know this, Meep. Look at yourself. Look in the mirror. You're an elf.
So
Am I a real elf?
Yes, you're a real elf.
Wait, what?
No, I'm a real elf.
But you were a goblin?
Real elf.
Was she a goblin before and then turned into an elf?
I don't know if it's really my place to share that. But she
Does
will
she
figure
know?
it out.
Oh, okay.
Please share. Yeah, I'd love to know. You're okay
She'll
to
figure
share.
it
I'm
out.
totally
Great,
open.
great.
These are my friends.
Should we tell the stronghold there's an army of dead heading their way?
Maybe.
I like that.
Are they
plan.
headed their way?
Well, like, to be fair, we don't know which way the army of the undead is going.
I didn't. Yeah.
Hmm.
Can you bring people from not here with us, like from the stronghold or other?
I only have
places?
one of these spells left today.
Do you know how far this candle goes? Like, or how many people I can take with this candle?
Absolutely, I know that off the top of my head. Let me just take a look.
We can maybe grab some of their clerics.
It's just a candle from the dollar store. Sorry.
Oh no. Candle of invocation.
So Candle of Invocation is not a teleportation spell.
What is it? You just talk to them?
While lit, the candle sheds dim light in a 30-foot radius. Any creature within that light whose alignment matches that of the candle makes attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks with advantage. In addition, a cleric or druid in the light whose alignment matches the candles can cast level 1 spell slots he or she has prepared without expending spell slots through the spell's effects, as if cast with a first level slot. Oh, here we go. Alternatively, when you light the candle for the first time, you can cast the gate spell with it.
Gate spell. Gate. 5e. Okay. You conjure a portal linking an unoccupied space to a precise location on a different plane of existence. The portal is a circular. Oh, so it's not necessarily to them. Okay. You can orient the portal in any direction. It lasts for the duration, which is up to a minute with concentration. Portals to front and back on each plane where it appears. Oh, so it goes to a different plane. So that's actually, they're on our plane.
Yeah.
Could be an escape
Yep.
if things get too dicey.
Yep. Or okay, what alignment are the four sisters?
They are true neutral.
True neutral. That's not me.
So you get a message back, Ilaria.
Oh, okay.
Things are more complicated than they seem. Don't call Zolzotl. Come here and I can explain. Or don't meddle.
I'll just relay the message with some like teenager version of it to the group. She does not want us in her business unless she can explain.
I'm gonna look for
But she
supplies.
says don't call Zolzado.
Like, we're going, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of ready. I'm
I-
tired of waiting.
Well, there was a lot of stuff downstairs. I'd kind of like to look through these books to see if I can get something for my hammer to help me with some the undead.
What are you
thing.
looking for?
Maybe even if we get the shadow things to make my hammer actually hit them. There's been a lot going on. I want to be a little more prepared. And also, like, there was a lot of stuff in the basement that you might be able to use for spells and stuff. Maybe we get a few supplies. We don't seem... Shiny Face doesn't seem like they're in a hurry.
Also, should we help the unconscious one-armed person?
I think he's fine.
Oh, Kevin's okay.
He lured us here. Meep's just doing her own thing. She's in her own world. Let her be Meep.
That was like we were saying that to Meep in like a
So it's kind of funny that you say I'm not in a hurry. I know you don't understand why it's funny right now, but it has to do with time. And so, like, I know you don't get the joke, but like, I just needed to share with you that what you said was funny, even if you don't understand why.
Does that mean you are in a hurry or you're not in a hurry?
But do we have time to
What's
look
a
around for
hurry?
supplies?
Like a little bit, but like not like a lot.
All right, grab whatever you can carry and let's go.
Yeah, I have no patience for Apara at this point. Let's just go.
I still want to check the books for anything that'll help my hammer, like if we run into more shadow things or...
Yeah, make an investigation check to see if you can grab information to use in the future. I will say you don't have time to forge a weapon of the caliber you are looking to make.
No. I just have
but
my
you could look
regular
through it.
hammer. I just want to like have somebody with magic put a spell on it to like make it hit stuff. I don't know if that's the thing that can happen.
I mean, like you want it to be a magical weapon?
So when we fought the shadows, it really felt like I wasn't doing much. And if we're going to fight undead, there might be more of those. And I'd like to be a little more helpful, is basically the thought process. And this is a tower full of a wizard who knows about undead. There might be something in the books.
I mean, I think the main reason our stuff hit was because it was magical, was the difference. So I think unless we find you a weapon, like a +1 weapon or something.
Just like out of like normal pixel question, do enchantments exist in D&D? Can I even find an enchantment? Is that like a thing that can occur?
It's not like Skyrim where you have like a spell in one hand that makes your weapon magical. There are magic weapons that exist.
Okay.
They tend to be more rare, and it does take time and resources to make them.
Okay, so there's not just like somebody can't just go like and then my hammer is like a little more stronger.
Yeah, somebody who could do that would be incredibly powerful.
Okay, so I'm not going to find what I'm looking for. Got it.
Yeah, like you might, like I said, you might, if you do an investigation check, you might be able to find a business card lying on a table or a book with some information, but it's not something you can get done right now.
Yeah, I would. That's a case of me not knowing D&D things. I just figured there was like a
yeah, and there might be something I'm forgetting. I could also like homebrew a thing. There are some like cantrips that some like I think there's like a second level spell that can like enchant it for a limited amount of time, but you need to have somebody around who could cast it. Yeah.
So what I can do is bless, which gives you a D4 on the attack roll, but it doesn't help your damage.
Yeah, it doesn't give you like the magic weapon property.
Yeah.
Basically, in my my head, out of character head, was like some sort of like holy enchantment or something that make it hit undead
at some of my spells.
But I also like if it doesn't have to exist, we don't have to will it into existence. I was
No,
New
I
player
always want
trying
you
to
to
make
feel
things
like
up,
you
right?
can ask questions, especially
Mm,
when you're learning about the game. There's nothing really coming to brain for
cool.
me right now. Um,
Can I just grab some stuff or look around and see if there's anything that might be useful then?
yeah, absolutely. You can do an investigation check and see if you find any like spell scrolls or something.
17.
Okay, let me tell you what you find.
Oh, stuff.
Um, if anybody has anything else they would like to do in the meantime, feel free. Well, I generate some treasure.
I would like to go see if Gavin is waking up at all.
Okay. Let me roll a d4 to see if he's awake. How long has it been? Yeah, he's still sleeping.
Okay.
I want to talk to Fel about what he saw in the library. Yeah.
'Kay.
So Meep turns to Fel or walks over to Fel wherever he is,
This is
and
bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. This is
hey,
really
hey,
bad.
hey, 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 hey! It sounds a
Huh?
little bit like you're catastrophizing. Just a little.
We're
Do
gonna
we
go
need?
fight an army of the dead.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine. We've done this kind of. Take a deep breath with me, okay? Like seriously, just in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Come on, you got those. You got a nose, you got a mouth, you got lungs. Yep, good. Out through the mouth. We'll work on that. What did you see in the library? What are you talking about? You said you went into you talked to a unicorn. There's no unicorn. Are you talking about the?
I don't. It was a weird gold. It looked like a dragon. It had a horn, but then it also had a beard. I don't know. It was very sassy. I don't know why so many things that
Deep
talk to me
sassy
tend to be
voice.
sassy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sassy, really entitled kind of sounding.
kinda.
Oh god, he's always like that. What did he say?
Wait, what?
Shh, what did he say?
He filled my brain with knowledge. I know that doesn't answer, but it
Okay, as long as he
It's
didn't
fine.
do he didn't say anything bad was happening. Like it's okay. Everything was okay in the conversation.
Yeah, it was a very just like, here's this, here's that for you.
And he didn't take you to like the other room, right?
What other room, Meep?
All right, nothing. Oh, we're good.
Ooh, nope. Boom, grab back of the collar and holding up. No. What?
I just want to make sure he didn't share my secret journals, okay? Just put me
What do you
down.
mean secret journals?
It's fine. He didn't, so we're good. He kept his word. She kicks her foot into his chest. Lay down. Thank you. Jesus.
The Diaries of Meep.
All right, I'm done.
So you find a couple of things, and I will copy paste this into our Discord.
Yeah.
The first thing I randomly generated was 4 flasks of holy water.
Hell yeah, I was looking for
That's
those.
very useful.
I've been looking for that.
Everything's on your side today.
Oh my god.
Loot. There we go. You also find a chime engraved with draconic scales worth 1,000 gold pieces. You find a couple of scrolls. You find arcane. You find disguise self, cat's grace, summon monster, and that's it. You also find a first level pearl of power, a scimitar, a +1 scimitar, and bone chalice engraved with draconic scales, which is very fitting because this is a necromancer's tower.
I just need to
We're
see
all
what our
obviously
power is. We're like literally all Googling at the same time. It's great.
So our characters are just looking at. We're analyzing all of this loot that we've. That's what's happening.
Yeah, so a pearl of power is probably going to be for one of the casters. It's basically something you can store spell slots in once you're attuned to it. Yeah, it requires attunement by a spellcaster. Um, The plus
Oh,
one scimitar, +1 weapon. I believe +1 weapons count. Let me just double check. Count is magical.
yeah. Okay.
That's the question that I'm looking for. Any +1, 2, or 3 weapon in 5e is considered magic unless specifically stated otherwise in the description. So yes, the +1 scimitar is technically a magic weapon. The bone chalice and the chime are just worth money. And then there's the holy water for flasks if somebody wants to get a definition for that. Well, I look up the spell scrolls because I always forget how spell scrolls work in D&D. So I'm just gonna look it up right now.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
I just have holy water. So this is an action. You can splash the contents of the flask onto a creature within 5 feet or throw it 20 feet. And if the target is a fiend or undead, it takes 2d6 of radiant damage. Cleric or paladin can create holy water. And it tells you how to
There
do
was
it.
there was a spell that was the reason that I was looking for holy water, but I cannot remember which one it was.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm
Sure.
trying to find my from my spell list.
Fair. For the spell scrolls, if the spell is on your class's spell list, you can read the scroll and cast its spell without providing any material components. Otherwise, the scroll is unintelligible. So I will double check who is able to use those. If the spell is on your class's spell list, but a higher level than you can normally cast, you must make an ability check using your spellcasting ability to determine whether you can cast it successfully. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. So, for example, the summon monster spell, I believe, is quite high level. So, if anybody is able to cast it, they would have to make a check to actually be able to do it. Yeah, but that's what you find. That's what you find in the Wizard's Tower.
Can we just take this stuff?
Oh,
Do we have to
Yes.
buy this stuff? Like, me
This
just
would
holding
be
the pearl
Meat's
up.
idea of borrowing, because Gavin is asleep, passed out.
all right. I have determined which spell it was for. And it was for Magic Circle. For the holy water. You create a 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of magical energy centered on a point on the ground that you can see within range. Glowing runes appear where the cylinder intersects with the floor or other surface. You choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fae, fiend, or undead. The circle affects creatures of the chosen type in the following ways. They cannot willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If it tries to do it by magic, it has to make a saving throw. Targets within the cylinder can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by that type of creature. And you can also do the opposite, to where you trap them into it as well. So that's why I was looking for
That
holy
seems
water.
useful. Well, now we have 4 more flasks for you.
I don't actually have that spell prepared since we haven't slept. But we can always throw them.
We can throw them.
But
I guess let's
better than nothing.
Let's go.
I think so. Did you need to ask me something, Phil? Are you supposed to ask me something?
He's never been quite okay since he came back from the library.
What happened to you?
Here.
To bring Dragomir's wife back, apparently we have to set up a conversation with Zozatl, and I was told that you would know how that's gonna happen.
Oh
Yeah, Dragomir, to potentially bring back your wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if necessarily it's directly with Zozatl, but we're supposed to go to Asoriel.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know.
I mean, sounds good to me. I only know step 1 at the moment. I had the sense that if I had more info, my brain would just come out of my ears. So,
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you lead with that, Fel?
Meep, I'm gonna throw you through the window out of the tower.
Try it.
You two never change.
All
We're
right.
like this on every timeline, really?
Every time I've met you.
Cool.
She's
Same
just
timeline
mad
for
because
all
her
of you.
parents like me more. That's what.
You
Ooh, that's a
probably
low
right.
blow.
You're probably right.
That's a low blow.
Two-
She brought up my parents not that long ago.
Meep kind of like turns around and just like walks into the nearest corner with her hood all the way down like this. And she
It's
starts
a
going,
circular room, so
she hides behind Dragomir and goes.
I don't know that you hide behind Dragomir right now. He's sort of short circuiting and has very much projecting the energy of you don't want to be in my space.
Uh-oh.
Sort of like pacing and thinking and going like, just get information. We need to go to this place because I'll be able to see my wife, but also I just swore an oath to these people and I have to like help with the zombies and Keswick, and we're having like a Fell meltdown basically right now. Like the classic like Fell talking to himself and just trying to sort through what the just happened, because we were just in a library and now there's a wizard. They go through time and knows who we are. We're supposed to know him and what.
Okay, so me tries to like make Fel feel for what he just said and tries to walk over to Dragomir, who's just like stewing. Like it does not look good. And she realizes what's happening and then she just backs up and she just abandons the whole bit. And yeah. So, like
So do we go there?
Okay, when we get there, who is talking to Apara? Which of us?
I feel like Fel would just instantly turn to you. Like,
Okay.
You definitely know the most about magic.
Sure. Okay. I think a lot of this is just being placed into my head, like when the Reaper took me and gave me knowledge. So I don't really know how I know some of this. But sure, we'll go and we'll talk and just be prepared to fight if we have to, I guess.
so you're ready?
Sure.
yeah.
The second somebody says yeah, they like take out their hourglass, which is a small, like delicate, like it's like that big, and hold it open in their like flat on their palm, and we see the hourglass like levitating just above their hand, and we see it start to like spin and rotate. We see the sand that looks like stars start to glow, and you step out into you're surrounded by undead. They are everywhere. And they go, okay, so we're close, but it's a little bit finicky to get the details. But
Maybe.
and I
yeah, Illyria.
roll initiative.
No. I was not trying to meddle.
And the person who dropped you off goes, I'm not allowed to interfere, but I'll see you soon. And
What the hell, shiny
disappears.
face?
They disappear.
You shiny face.
No.
Oh, let's clear all that. Let's roll initiative.
18.
12.
I also have a 12. I'm assuming your dex is higher than mine.
Yeah, mine's 17.
Where's mine at? I mean, I'm assuming that's so much more higher. Where the are my stats? What's happening? Yeah.
Ability scores tab. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no, you go first.
I just always assume my stats are higher because when we rolled my stat dice, you said you.
Sorry, who got the highest roll?
I got
I think
18.
Meep is at an 18.
Meep said an 18.
Mhm.
And then who's next?
16 for Illyria.
16 for Illyria. And
then-
then the enemies are at a 13.
And then 2 12s with me taking the lead on decks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Meep, you
Hmm?
are in a jungle
Oh, great.
surrounded by creatures who look dead and are moving in a way that is unnatural. Some of their shoulders looked popped out. They're holding rusty swords. They have armor that looks very beat up. And there are many of them. What would you like to do?
Oh. Let me check one thing really quickly. No. I want to summon Faye.
Okay. Are you bringing? I believe it was Malice for Danny.
Hmm?
There goes your allowance.
Immediately.
Yeah, that's why I wanted it. Bring it to Danny for the distraction and help.
So a small, bright red spirit with a knife pops into existence.
I hate him so much.
He helps though.
I love him.
Yeah.
It manifests in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the Face Spirit stat block. Choose a mood. We did that. Is an
Malice.
ally to you and your companions in combat. The creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys
Okay.
your verbal commands, no action required by you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action and uses it to move to avoid danger. Okay. So Danny appears.
Okay. I look at him and I say, go, distract them, keep them on their toes.
He goes, yeah, and takes his little dagger and like grits his teeth and starts running.
Go get him, Danny.
So that uses your action and also consumes a 3rd level spell slot.
Mhm.
Do you
Can I use a
have
bonus action?
Pardon?
Can I use a bonus action?
Yes.
I want to wild shape into a squid.
What?
With
Can I?
There's no water nearby.
I'm a air breathing squid.
I don't think
there are
that's how that
stat
works.
blocks for
Don't
those
think that's
creatures.
a thing.
Okay. All right. Not a squid.
Is wild shape a bonus action?
Yeah.
I
For a
believe if
circle of
you're
the
a
moon
moon
druids.
druid, yeah.
Holy
Okay. All right. Fine. Maybe not a squid because water is important for a squid.
They can only breathe underwater.
Yeah,
I think
Dragomir?
is the octopus.
No, I was because sometimes we do weird, fun, cool stuff. What if it was one of the bird options, but was just skinned to be a squid?
I have to just take a look
Squids do have beaks.
to see
I would like to
if
point that out.
I just
5e.
There are levels to this thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah. I just
you have to cast this at a specific level too. Like you can't just
I'm new to D&D.
I just think it'd be hilarious to have a flying squid.
So it doesn't look like, unless I'm missing something specifically about a moon druid, I don't know if you can be a creature with a flying speed jet either. I'm not sure. I'm just taking a look.
Okay.
Hmm.
I just think a squid could do some damage, you know? Like,
as you suffocate.
what's the opposite of suffocate?
A
Also,
bear
the-
can do some damage.
The finale
bear
having
could
a
be-
tentacle monster is
You've
Del?
Yeah, so you can be. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
You're good.
You can be a CR, like a challenge rating 2 beast or lower. You won't be able to fly until you're level 8.
Okay. Can I be a polar bear?
Yeah, you'll use the same stat block as the brown bear,
bear?
I think, but you can be a polar bear. Yes.
Okay, cool. Polar bear's cooler. All right. Yeah, I want
Bear
a wild shape into a polar
enthusiasts,
bear.
don't come at me about the differences.
Not important.
It's not important. Yeah, so you turn into a bear. So that is your bonus action.
Yep.
You've used your main action. You can talk as if, well, I guess you're a bear, so you could roar
Yeah, I
as a
can
free
talk.
action. And you can move if you would like.
I stand up on my hind legs, so I'm like extra tall and extra big, and I do a big old roar. I intimidate them.
Okay. Unfortunately, their intelligence is a 3, so I don't think they know what it means to be intimidated. It
Made me
looks
feel
like
better.
a polar bear actually is a creature in D&D. It's it's CR2, which is different than a brown bear, which is CR1.
Okay.
And so you let me just pull up the stat block and send it to you.
You
And
get
I'm
the
just checking.
craving for Coca-Cola.
I'm just checking. I'm not allowed to have tentacle arms as a polar bear.
No.
Don't blame me.
No, you're not allowed to have tentacle arms.
What do
as
you
a
mean?
polar
Don't
bear.
blame you.
It wasn't my suggestion.
It came out of your mouth. It became your suggestion.
So Candace, I just sent you a link to the polar bear stat block.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
you keep your intelligence and your wisdom, but you use the strength and dex and HP of the polar bear. So you have 42 hit points as a polar bear.
Okay.
Your strength is 20. You smell really good, as in like you're good at smelling. And
okay. Well.
on
I also smell really good. So
and then on your turn, you can multi-attack. So you can you have a bite attack and a claw attack, and you can do a total of 2 of them on your next turn. You could either do 2 bites or 2 claws, or a bite and a claw. That's totally up to you.
gotcha.
But I believe that's your turn.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm good.
Illyria. Danny has been let loose, and Meep is a polar bear. What would you like to do?
Do these undead look as if they are going to kill us?
They don't look friendly.
Okay. I don't want to hold my action because then that uses up my reaction, right? So I will simply be like, well, I told the par I wasn't gonna meddle, but also I don't want to die. I don't want my friends to die. And I'll be like, okay, well, the Reaper taught me this cool trick. Let's see if it works. And I'll use my channel divinity to mark undead.
So as you go to do that, something happens.
Uh-oh.
Above you, suddenly there's a shadow in the air above you, and you see a person that looks like an oak tree became a person. We've seen them as the audience. The characters haven't seen them. You could tell just by looking at them. You saw them in the scrying pool that this is Autumn. They have oak colored skin and flowing orange and red and yellow hair, and are wearing a dress made out of leaves and branches that's like a tight corset, and then like poofs outwards. They are above you. They have their arms like that, and in this hand they're holding a needle that is as long as a sword.
Okay, don't do that.
And they stand above you and they go, "Don't interfere."
Are they gonna attack me?
They seem to be waiting to see what you're gonna do.
I'll wait and I'll just yell, "Apa!"
So a couple of things happen. Around you, the air seems to shift, and you feel yourself moved. And suddenly you're standing at the top of the cliff. Autumn is still there. And Apara is nearby. And Apara says, I told you not to interfere. And
We were coming to
Apara
find you.
looks
Oh no!
upset.
No.
Is it just me, or did
It's
she
all of
take?
you. Yeah,
Okay.
Danny's there too.
You, Danny.
And
I didn't do it yet. I didn't tell Zozato.
and we see Apara. Apara is tall. Apara is bigger than when you met her the first time, and we see this
Uh-oh.
warrior standing there with her longsword is no longer sheathed; it's in her hand, and she goes, "There is more at play than you can understand."
I would love to understand. That's why we're here, but we thought they were gonna kill us. So that's the only reason that I even thought. Because that's a lot of them and then 4 of us.
So Apara looks angry. But then there's a shift as she goes like that as if she's listening to something. And then lets out a breath and nods and goes. She just kind of shakes her head. But then not only does she tense again, but Autumn also turns and tenses. And they both look off to the side, and all of you pause and look off to the side. And the air begins to melt away around the point that you're looking at. And it begins to swirl. And through it, you see darkness and you see stars. And then you see something begin to extend out of it. And we're going to take our final break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful break. Mine was filled with tentacles.
God.
What do you want me to say?
And yet I
So
can't
much
have
worse.
tentacles as a polar bear. It's fine. I'll get over it.
I hope everybody had an absolutely lovely break. We are going into the last hour of Into the Darkness. Just a reminder that after the show is over, after a quick break, or a slightly longer break, we'll be doing a post show where we answer any questions that you have for us about behind the scenes, about our characters, about what this whole experience has been like, about D&D in general. If you would like to do that, there's either a channel point redemption or in the after show exclamation point thank you writer, there is a Google form. We'll be doing the Google form ones first. So feel free to put your questions in there. If you put it just in chat without any like channel point redemptions, we will probably miss it. Just so you know. So please submit it through one of those forums. So the story so far is our adventurers are confused. They had a friend basically come and be like, I already know you. And they were like, no, we don't know you. And they were like, oh, weird timeline. But I can get you somewhere. So when our adventurers were ready, they said, okay, bring us to this place where all of these archfey are summoning all of these undead and creating this massive army. So they have now teleported. Their friend who dropped them off basically said, I can't interfere anymore, bye. And dropped them off in a field of undead. Meep turned into a polar bear after summoning Danny. Illyria went to cast her Hazel's Autos Undead here. Before she had a chance, the Archfey of Autumn showed up and basically went, don't do that. And then teleported after Illyria called out for Apara's help. They were teleported to where Apara is. So they were standing there with Apara and Autumn. Meep is still a polar bear. Danny is still there. And things happened very quickly. But before any of them had a chance to do anything, something happened. A door has been opened, and through this door was a starry night sky, and darkness. And as you all watch, a tentacle comes out of the hole in the sky.
What?
Why do you do this to us,
Followed by another one, and then a massive brain floats through.
No! Not again! No!
And I'm gonna give you all, I know we just rolled an initiative, but there was some stuff that happened in between. So we're gonna re-roll and we're gonna go from there. As this brain comes into the world and attacks.
It's fine. We're fine. Okay, give me a good roll. Or not. One is fine. Cool.
What is my... Why didn't I move my... No.
This is not good.
Oh, God. It really isn't.
This is so bad.
Oh, this is really bad. I just saw... Yeah, this is really bad.
This is fine.
This is just like a free flowing brain instead of it being contained.
Yeah, it's just like floating through the airs and it has massive tentacles hanging
Oh,
off of
me
it.
then. That's cool.
This is so bad.
That's great.
It's fine.
This sucks. Yep.
I got a 6, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. We're tied for highest.
Yep.
Okay, so Concho and Pixel are tied for highest with a 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so boned.
These are tragic.
We were very shocked by being teleported, and our initiative was not very good.
You know what? There's a lot of things going on right now. Illyria got a 4 and Meep got a
Yep.
3. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Meep and Danny. Okay, I've got Danny's name on there too. So, Apara is the first to move, and she lunges forward with her sword.
At us?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, fuck Mara.
She
Okay.
Thank
lunges
goodness.
at the brain.
Okay, cool.
And she attacks it with her sword. So she gets... Wow, she's also rolling like booty. So her first one misses. It and like a tentacle begins to wrap around her sword. And then her second attack hits. And so you see it, the first one go through. You don't see any damage happen. You see this tentacle begin to wrap around her sword. And then she yells and her sword begins to glow and she pulls it upwards. And like the content warning in chat for violence and tentacles. She lifts her sword upward and like the tentacles like are split into pieces and begin spraying like a bluish blackish like ooze as she like lifts her sword up and it takes some damage. Let me just do some quick math. That's the one that I want. There we go. Where's your stat block? There it is.
How big is this brain?
You remember the brain of the tank?
Yeah, so I'm bigger than the brain because I'm a polar bear, right?
You're about the same size as it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if that's comforting or not, but
No, but thank you for answering my question.
yeah, absolutely. Once we get to the brain's turn, I'll give a better description of the brain. So it takes, let's see,
Thanks.
math. These are big numbers. I need my calculator.
Oh God.
Literally
I can't do
watching,
3-digit math.
watching all the
Three-digit?
rest of the cameras as you do magic is just various states of facial panic.
Yeah.
Oh, my butthole is puckered. Like I'm
Oh,
not. This is
yeah.
not good.
The buttle is clenched.
Yeah.
The only reason I know that
Buttles
I'm still
concerned.
breathing is because I'm conscious. Like,
So as we see like Apara like lunge forward, we see her sword, we see it like lift up and like splinter some of these tentacles, and goo goes flying, and there's like a light. And then like as she pulls back, we see Autumn like immediately pull in because Autumn's next up in initiative. And Autumn is going to attack with her needle.
Oh.
So yeah, she's using like a large sewing needle. And she hits. And yeah, so her needle like pierces the brain and some juice squirts out.
You didn't have. You didn't.
Sorry. Sorry, I really didn't
Yes.
have to. I
Oh
made
my
this
God,
decision.
yes.
Sorry.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. Joking, but
Um,
still.
It's your channel.
I know. That's how bad it was. They went to the squirt.
And as you watch Autumn seems to move like there's like the motion blur like movement as Autumn like goes forward, and pierces the brain with the needle. But then the elder brain begins to move. So the elder brain, for anybody who has never seen one before, is large. It is it like looks like a brain, like it's like that like pinkish gray, and it's bigger than that. It is about 10 feet in diameter. It has several large, like deep purple colored tentacles coming off of it. As well as like the tentacles like move throughout like the folds of the brain,
Oh.
and go like in and out of like the folds of the brain. And as you realize as you watch it move, it's floating, but also like the tentacles that are coming out from underneath it are like pulling it forward.
Walking.
And there's like ooze dripping off of it. And it's its turn. So it is going to, all of you hear a voice in your head, and it's not in a language that you speak, but you understand it anyways. You hear a voice in your head that's basically telling you to lay down your weapons, lay down your willpower, and allow this to happen, is what it's saying. There's no like, it's not like persuading you. There's no effect. There's no throw to make. It's just trying to bug everybody. I assume none of you
10
lay down.
feet, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is 4 feet from end to end.
Yeah.
Ah.
In diameter. I
anybody
don't know if
that
that
needs
helps.
help visualizing, if you've been to a basketball court, it would be sitting on the floor and touching the net.
It's pretty big.
Touching the hoop,
The
actually.
hoop. Sorry, yes, the hoop.
Yep.
Yeah,
On the
it's
top.
It's,
That's 10 feet.
Yeah.
So you hear a couple other things within your brain. You feel like somebody is whispering into your mind. And you also get the feeling that you are being followed. And you just can't shake this feeling. and those effects will last until I tell you that they go away. And it is going to who's it gonna hit?
Certainly not
It'll
a cute polar bear.
first it's gonna try to hit the people who hit it. So you see a tentacle lash out at Autumn.
Man.
And you see Autumn, as I mentioned, Autumn is like very like sped up and moving. And Autumn like dashes to the side and dodges the tentacle. And it is Dragomir's turn.
Okay, let me double check something. No, this one.
What
Yes.
is Dragomir's mental state right now? Because it's been a day.
So, the thing about Dragomir is he has spent 100 years suffering every day fighting in a coliseum. So he surveys the field, takes everything, pushes it into a corner, and just kind of goes, it's time to fight. Every day for 100 years is a long time to take your emotions, bottle them up, and push them aside and be in the moment. And it's a skill that you can practice. It's a skill that you learn. And if you don't do it for 100 years, you will die in an arena fighting. And you see him just do like a little stretch, grip his hammer, focus on the moment, and he's in, and we're ready. I think normally a person would be panicked and losing their mind, but 100 years of fighting every day just to go back to a cell lets you dissolve the world and focus on the moment.
So as you brace yourself for whatever you're about to do, there is a voice in your head that goes, you could have gone somewhere else. You could have been in Orsorial. You didn't have to be here with these people. They're keeping you from what you're supposed to be doing. What would you like to do?
So this is all happening in like a split second, but I can paint a scene, right? So Dragomir stops and thinks. And what we see, like it's one of those like flash moments where you see what's going through the character's mind, and you see his home and his wife flashing through his mind and the places he could have gone. And then you see a table. And on the table, there's a circle. And attached to the circle is 4 knots. And I would like to cast Eldritch Blast at the brain.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Go!
Give me
nope,
that
no.
roll.
I need to clear this. Clear.
Come on, come on, come on.
Oh, I need to add this one. Yeah, it doesn't do it automatically for me. So 14.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, so it's.
Is this our first time seeing
Oh,
your
it
Eldritch
is. It
Blast?
is the first time.
Yeah.
Right. So what we see when Dragomir casts Eldritch Blast is he grips his hammer, one hand, and sort of swings it forward with like some clearance. And as it reaches the arc of the swing, it lights up into, like you see it come from his hand all the way up the handle and encompass it. It's a glow that again is the color of sand if you shine light through it, with little flicks of blue popping off of it. And that's the way the beams come out of it and shoot off towards the target.
Hell yeah.
So
Beautiful.
because I'm level 5, I get 2 beams instead of 1. There's only 1 enemy, so I'm going to target it with both.
Okay.
So I need to clear this. I just roll this twice. Let's put 2 d10s in there. So 11 total.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you see the golden color with like the flecks of blue, kind of like almost like electricity, like go across the brain and like peter out. Not in like an ineffective way, but like you just see like the effects of the spell go across the brain. Um and you hear a voice in your head that says, "Is this the choice you're making?"
Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
I don't know if I'm supposed to answer the voice, but I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Expeditious Retreat to get ready for the next turn.
Okay.
Um,
So you bounce backwards
no,
or bounce forward?
Expeditious Retreat. Casting time is a bonus action. It allows me on future turns to use my bonus action to take the dash command.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was thinking it was something else. Okay,
Yeah.
so you cast your spell, you like knock off, you basically like allow what they're saying to like roll off of you,
Mhm.
and you are ready for your next turn.
That's a concentration spell for 10 minutes.
Okay. Fel,
Mm-hmm.
you hear a voice in your head that says, "Is this really where you want to die?"
Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, oh, literally the worst thing that thing could say to me. Oh, are we on we're on a cliff and it's like down, or what's the...
So this is a very dramatic fight. You are on like a cliff top, and there's an army of undead on the ground beneath you. But you all raised up on this hill, with like the sunlight, like as it approaches evening, like shining dramatically. Your shadows are very long on the ground. And you were all standing like near the edge of the cliff, like looking over these armies of undead, when you turn around and there's this like large brain behind you. So there's like quite a bit of space behind you.
Okay.
Um
But the brain is on the same cliff as us. It's not
it's
down.
it's there where you
Okay.
are. Like you can get to it within a movement or
Okay.
so.
Yeah, literally the reaction I had, you see, fell fully like, okay, no, that's fun. You know what's even funnier? And just rage and go fucking headlong into this thing.
So I feel like when we've seen you rage before, like it took like a moment of you like sliding into your rage, but this is more of like a you just like burst immediately into your rage, like because you get like more bear like when you rage, right?
Yeah.
So you like burst into being taller and bigger and hairier, and like your fingers extend like claws, and we see your teeth sharpen in like a moment of anger.
There's one thing. Fell may overthink something and whatnot, but he is a fighter to his core. And if someone flips him off that badly, yeah, no, it's just instant, just like, boom, all right, you. And yeah, we're going to do the old rinse and repeat like we always do. Dickhead trying to talk to me. I feel like he'd like out loud too. It's just like, I don't know who the hell this brain thinks he is, but he's gonna talk to me like that. Boom. So this is, oh my god, it's oh +7. That's no, +2 because we're doing the two-handed. Oh no, that's a 5
Oh no.
on the first attack.
A 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Yeah. So we'll 22.
As if it might.
Yeah. What the a 10?
A 10 hits it.
Oh, okay.
It's a big brain. It doesn't have armor.
Oh, that's
It's a
true.
big
Just a big
10-foot
old
brain.
It
It's
just has a
not
lot of. I'm sure it has
dexterous.
a lot of hit points, though.
Yeah. Okay. Is that my 10? Yeah. So that's plus. Oh my God. We've been doing this how long? 12 plus 10 is 22.
Yeah.
Okay. So 22 points of damage as I miss my first attack and hit with the second.
And just to double check, what kind of damage is that?
This is just normal slashing.
Okay.
I
let me
think. I
just
don't think my
double check.
rage adds any kind of special attack.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
So 22 points of damage.
Correct.
Yeah, we just see like an armful of tentacles go flying as Fel rips through them with his weapon.
Is this really where you want to die, you stupid?
And Fel, through your rage, through the anger and the redness, you get an image, and you know it's not real, but you get an image of Dragomir and Meep and Illyria laying dead on the ground.
Oh, whoo. Cool.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah. Okay, Illyria, it's your turn.
Okay, this is fine. A giant brain is here. I'm gonna be like, is there only one Apara, or is like an army gonna come through here?
Yeah, Apara just yells, we're gonna deal with the one in front of us and go from there.
Oh no. Okay. Let's go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon.
Hell yeah. What does it look
This
like?
time it's going to look like the hairpin that Meep gave her.
Ooh, that's cool.
And so this giant hairpin is just floating in the air next to the brain, and it's gonna whack the brain on the head. Hold on.
Hell yeah.
If I wasn't a big polar bear, I would cheer you on. I mean, I could. Trying.
23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Level 2. Spiritual weapon.
Hairpin. Sorry.
Oh no, not the hairpin. Okay, so that'll be 9 force damage.
Okay.
That's a bonus action. So for my action, I would like to cast with cantrip. I would like to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
So basically, with one hand, I'm like willing the hairpin to smack, and with the other, I'm like calling down radiant energy from above. So the target must succeed on a dex saving throw or take 2d8 radiant damage.
Okay.
So my save is 15.
Okay.
I believe.
So it gets a 3, but it uses one of its legendary resistances to succeed instead. So therefore, it takes no damage.
Okay.
So it's down to 2.
Sure. That's fine. That was a cantrip. We're that's great. Okay.
And Illyria, you get this. You see in your brain, the room that you saw at the house that looked like your dream room, and the room that you never had because you traveled growing up. You never had one place to call home. And even though there's no words, you are basically shown the feeling of like you could leave, you could go settle down, you could stay in a nice house in a nice room and not have to worry about any of this stuff if you just lay down and allow us to do our jobs.
I don't. Okay.
That's it. That's all you see.
Great.
Is that your turn?
Wonderful. That's my turn. That's my turn. That's my turn.
Incredible. Meep, it's your turn.
Hi, rar. What's up? I have
You're a polar
questions.
bear.
I'm definitely a very large polar bear up on my hind legs right now. I'm unable to communicate with Danny as a polar bear, right? Or can I? Because I'm confused.
Let's take a quick look at
Mhm.
Danny.
And how does my
Summon.
needing to concentrate on summon Fae affect my abilities to do other things? Because I am
You
again
can
new to D&D.
concentrate. You can't if you can't do 2 concentrations at once. You
Okay.
can only concentrate on one thing at a time. If you get hit with something, you have to do a save to see if you're able to maintain your concentration.
Okay.
Um,
And I can't do spells that require verbal or like somatic, right? As a polar bear.
yeah, because you can't
Okay.
say the spell words. Mhm.
That makes sense, but I'm not sure if I can tell Danny what to do because Danny's turn's after my turn.
Yeah, so it says here that it obeys your verbal commands.
Ooh.
You gave it one verbal command
That's
last
true.
turn.
I did just run around and distract them and keep them.
So it says that its language are Sylvan and it understands the languages that you speak. So I'm gonna take a look at the polar bear stat block and see if it actually lists a language.
I don't think it
Um,
does, if I remember correctly.
I don't think it does either, but I'll
No.
check.
Okay.
Because if it has something, yeah, no languages.
No.
So Danny will dodge.
Okay. Well, Danny's gonna dodge. So in that case, I can't use any spells or anything. So I'm going to attempt to launch my polar bear body at one of the tentacles that is up in the air so that I can like grab onto it with my polar bear claws, and then I want to bite into it with my polar bear teeth, and I want to
And rip it around. Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Ideally
yeah.
severing it is the goal here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so as you are running in polar bear form towards this brain, what Meep sees is you don't see your parents sitting at the desk at the library. You don't see Botley with arms full of books. You see Fell and you see yourself and you see a flower that you had stomped on, and you see yourself holding up the flower and using magic to breathe life back into it. And you see Fel taking that flower and holding it, and you see the two of you crouched down. And then you see the camera zooms out, and you see that you and Fel are small, just like the flower was. And you see a footprint come down over the two of you and step down on you, and then walk away. And you see the two of you crumpled on the ground. So you'd like to claw at the
Yeah,
brain?
I would have up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for your attack as a
That's
polar
a
bear,
callback. You did a callback. You got me in my feels.
it's a d20 plus 7 to hit.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the bite. The claw
Oh.
is also plus 7. There we go.
Wait, what am I? I'm just rolling a d20?
Yeah,
Plus
at the top d20 plus, and then you can add in a 7.
Okay.
I believe.
27.
Yeah, there you go. So you rolled
Natural
a nat
20?
It's a
20.
nat 20.
You rolled a nat 20. So technically you rolled a 27 because of that nat 20, which means you are rolling double the damage dice. So you will be rolling It's normally 2d6 plus 5, so you will be rolling 4d6 plus 5
Crit,
damage.
crit, crit, crit,
Wait,
crit, crit.
I'm rolling.
So just press that D6 button up
Yeah.
on the top. Press it 4 times.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just roll.
Did you clear? Just
Yeah,
I
it's
did
clear.
right before. 14.
So then it was plus 5. Was
Oh,
that it?
those 2 1s.
but
So
also
14
2
plus
6s.
2
5.
1s is
Sorry,
bad.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it yet.
14 plus
Okay.
5, 19.
Okay. Yeah, so we see an angry polar bear like launch itself at this brain, like snarling, and we see its claws go through, and like we see it like rip through, and then we see like the stubby little tentacles like waving with like stuff spurting out of them as you like rip through them. For your second attack, would you like to bite or claw?
I would like to claw.
Okay.
Yep.
So roll another d20 plus 7.
Okay. $11.
That hits.
Okay, good.
Yep. So now you're rolling 2d6 plus 5.
Okay. 10. So 5 plus the 5 is 10.
Awesome. Yeah, so the rest of y'all were going forward and doing your attacks, and then you see a polar bear launch itself with this thing and start like clawing with both hands. You see like tentacles go flying as Meep takes a chunk out of this with Danny riding on her back, holding a dagger and going, yeah, up.
I love Danny.
So you used your multi-attack. So that is your action. You used your movement to get over there. You don't have a bonus action in bear form that I know of.
Can I de-bear? How does that work? How do I de-polar bear if I need to?
I can't remember if it's I think you can if you want
Because
to.
it doesn't say how long it lasts. At least I couldn't find that.
I think it lasts for like an hour if you'd like, but I think you can
Okay.
drop it.
I'm gonna drop it unless I need
Oh.
to do that on my next turn.
It
me
lasts
just
for
double check.
it's certain amount of like level. It's like, yeah.
Okay.
You can stay in this form for a number of hours equal to half of your druid level. So you are level 6, so you can stay in it for 3 hours.
Okay.
It is a bonus action to drop it. So you've used your main action. If you would like to drop your polar bear form, you can.
Yeah, I'm ready because I want to use spells.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just check something.
Point of clarification. Are you staying right next to it and then dropping out of bear form? Are you going to continue standing next to the brain?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Okay.
wanted to make sure I understood.
Okay, so it is now. I guess technically, because you use your bonus action to turn back into Meep. So
Yeah.
you can use a free action to talk and ask Danny to attack.
Oh, perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're back to being meep form. In that case,
So he's on your shoulder and he launches himself at, if you're going to tell him to attack.
Can I tell him to attack specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, Danny. I look at Danny and I go, "This is your moment, okay? I want you to crawl up on that bastard. I want you to crawl into one of those folds, and I want you to, I want you to just right in there, get to the core of that mother. You got this. I know you do."
Yeah. So, you can also instruct him to have a bonus action.
Okay.
He can do a phase step, so he can teleport 30 feet. You're right next to the brain. You can tell him to fume, which is what it sounds like you're doing, which gives him advantage on his next attack.
Like a mini rage. Okay.
Yeah, fuming, mirthful. Oh, no, sorry, you picked mirthful when you summoned him. So sorry, you only have one of these options.
Okay.
The Fae can force one creature it can see within 10 feet of it to make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. Unless the save succeeds, the target is charmed, which...
Can
The
this
word
brain
choice-
be charmed?
The word choice just comes out, okay, everybody? I need to get to the thalamus. That's right.
That can't be a
That's what he has
thing.
to do.
There's no way.
What? What is it?
Cost 300 gold. There has to be a way.
Yeah, there has to be.
Okay, so so Dragomir, me, and Squishy Meep are all in melee.
No, I'm hanging back. I cast Eldritch
You,
Blast.
Oh,
you
yeah,
did
he isn't-
Eldritch. That's right.
I'm
Okay.
back with Illyra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Sorry, I just
Para and
wanna-
Autumn are down there hanging out.
everybody's all up
Oh.
in this brain's business.
Mhm.
That's true. Is it technically flanked at this point?
I don't think you can flank large creatures.
Oh, got it.
Flanking is like
Like-
house rule anyway, so it's up to
Mhm.
what you would want as the DM.
Yeah, I think you can only do it if you're like the same size as it, is usually how I've done it.
It does seem impressive to flank a 10-foot brain. I know you're big, fell, but
You're goddamn right.
Okay. I don't see an immunity to charm, which doesn't make sense to me, but is fine. So
What?
yeah, I don't see that as an immunity anywhere on here.
is Danny DeVito about to charm
I
a
mean,
large brain?
I can charm
It
her
has to
brain,
make a save, so like it
Yeah.
might use its legendary resistance or whatever.
right?
Yeah, so you can order Danny to attack with his short sword and bonus action attempt to charm the brain.
Yep, let's do that.
Okay.
Charm it. Charm it while we slaughter it.
So Danny like gives you a little salute and then jumps off your shoulder and like grabs onto the brain and he's like using its like dagger to like crawl up it. And he hits with his little short sword that he has. So he does a little bit of damage, a very small amount of damage.
All I have in my head is so. Anyway, I started charming with finger guns. Like,
God,
Stop.
Oh no.
And then what is your do you know your spell save DC?
Mm-mm.
Me?
No, I do
Let's-
not.
Let's take a look. Let's figure it
Okay.
out together.
I don't even know where I can find that, to be honest.
So usually it's 8 plus your proficiency plus your spell casting, like the modifier you use for that ability.
Okay.
It's
So
typically, I think, how you
8
calculate it.
plus your proficiency bonus is 3 right now, right?
3. Yep.
11 plus wisdom for druids. So it'd be 14, it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the elder brain is gonna roll a saving throw. This is so silly. Okay, so that plus what kind of wisdom saving throw was it? Oh, wisdom saving throw. Okay. Yeah, it succeeds on the check, so it does not get charmed.
Shut! Oh, it was a good try.
Yeah, but Danny, the mirthful summoned fae, is standing on top of the brain.
He's on top of the brain.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
good
crawled
for
his
you,
way
Danny.
up there. So that's a thing. And that's Danny's turn. So we're back up to Apara at the top of the round. And so she's going to yeah, she's gonna attack with her sword. She's going to roll 2 attacks. So she hits the first. She also hits the second. So she does 2 big sword attacks. There's more tentacle blood, and like she stabs like into the brain, and there's the juice that comes off of the brain as she just continues to stab with her giant ass sword. Let me just get that damage rolled. As she takes some chunks out of it.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Doot. Calculator. Take away a number. Take away a number. And as she's stabbing at her, like as she like plunges her sword into the brain, it like her sword begins to glow, and you can smell like singed brain, and you could see light coming out of like the wrinkles of the brain. So she does a couple stabs, and then Autumn, again moving like quicker than anybody should be able to, flits around the brain, stabbing with her needle. As y'all attack. So she hits
Hell yeah.
she hits the brain with her needle. I think she only has 1.
Brain needle.
Oh, and she also has a charm ability. So the brain will make a wisdom saving throw for that. This is so silly. Okay. First I'll roll her damage. I need, where is it? There it is. So her needle punctures the brain once more. You all get the sense just from everybody's general demeanor, like you can all tell that you are all under the same similar psychic attacks. You're all being shown very lovely visions of terrible things. And then the brain will make a saving throw. A charisma saving throw. It's kind of charismatic. It fails, but it uses its legendary resistance to resist. So it's uses up another one of those to resist Autumn's charms. And then it is the brain's turn.
It's gonna be fine, y'all. What could go wrong?
Can everybody please make a DC 18 intelligence saving throw?
Ruh-roh.
What do I do to make that happen?
SpaghettiOs.
Intelligence?
Yeah, intelligence saving
Oh
throw.
God.
What? So, am I literally just rolling my intelligence?
No, go to.
There's
go
a
ahead.
section called saving throw underneath your ability scores.
Okay.
So you're doing the intelligence one in the saving throw section.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And let me prepare a dice roll. I'll do this one in roll so everybody can see it.
Okay.
Okay, how's everybody doing on their rolls?
Not 18.
I got a 9.
It's a big old 2 for me.
12.
Okay.
Not the public roll.
Oh, this is a lot of dice. That's a lot of D10s up there.
Okay, so it's 5d10 plus 5. So there's the 5d10. And then plus 5, because I didn't write that in there. So 27 plus 5 psychic damage to anybody who failed the throw. So that's
a lot of
32
damage.
psychic damage if you failed, or half as much if you've succeeded.
Of course, it's the one damage I don't have. That's a lot.
I think Meep has a concentration check.
Me too.
Oh yeah, you're right. How do I check concentration? I've never done that before.
So anybody who's concentrating makes a Constitution saving throw, which is in the same spot as the Intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
You have to get a 10 or higher to maintain concentration.
I got a
So-
nat 20 again.
Nice.
Good.
Dragomir?
I get 8.
Oh no.
I'm
So
so disappointed. I lose my
you
whole
lose your
spell.
concentration. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Um,
damage. Oh, this is bad.
It's okay.
That was a lot.
Sorry, I'm also just taking Autumn's HP and Apara's HP. Calculator, because math is not my strong suit. So Autumn takes a hit. And I'm just going to read one more thing to make sure I did everything correctly. If you each want to describe what taking psychic damage looks like, whether it's nosebleeds or like how it looks for each of you.
So Illyria grabs her head and kind of bends down and is like screaming in pain, and her hair is like flying and flaming as she screams.
And you see Dragomir just kind of like gets jolted backwards, and the aura that was glowing around him as his concentration check fails falls off, and he just drops to one knee, and you just hear like the deep like
Meep's fingers are in her hair and it's pulled straight up, and her eyes are like the widest you've ever seen it, and she's just silent. She's silent, but she's staying there like that.
Fel being like this, the only attack that he can't do anything against, probably is just excruciating pain, and like falls to the ground and is almost like slamming his head into the ground, just trying to make it stop.
Yeah. And anybody who failed the saving throw is also stunned for 1 minute. At the end of each of your turns, you can make another saving throw for it.
Oh,
So it's everybody but Dragomir, as far as we know.
Did Dragomir
Right.
succeed the saving throw?
no.
Oh, was it who?
failed.
I thought one person succeeded.
Is that
No.
the one I rolled a 20 on? No.
No,
That was
your
your concentration.
Right.
I don't think any of us succeeded that.
Uh-oh. Rutrose. That's really bad.
Yeah. So Dragomir, it's your turn. So you are stunned. At the end of your turn, which is basically the only choice you have because you're stunned, you can make another
Same throw.
another intelligence saving throw.
I'm going to use my inspiration to do this with advantage.
Okay. Fingers
I gotta use
crossed.
my inspiration because I rolled 5 the first time
Oh no.
and 4 the second time.
Oh no. Yeah, so we just see you like continue to suffer the effects of this spell, and then Fel, it's your turn to make the save again.
So it's the dexterity saving throw?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Fuck. Do I have? Nope, I ain't. I'm dumb as
No. Oh man. Right, you're still
So
stunned, I think.
You're still stunned.
Oh no. Or no.
Fel is convinced that, like, as he's like looking around, he sees Meep dead on the ground. He sees Dragomir dead on the ground. He sees Illyria dead on the ground. He sees all of the plants rotting and withering. He just sees everything around him dying. And that's the end of Fel's turn. Illyria, would you like to make a saving throw?
Yeah, can I use my inspiration?
Absolutely, you can.
Huh. 10? No. Okay. One more time. 3.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh no, fail. Oh no.
So Illyria uses her turn to continue to suffer. Meep,
Yeah.
it's your turn to make an intelligence saving throw.
Huh. Great. All right. I'm gonna go do that right now. Intelligence. Come on, Meep. You worked in a library. This is fine.
Oh, for sake.
8. That's with the buff. Oh, okay. It's fine. 4. I rolled a 4.
Yeah. So you continue to be stunned. Danny looks like he wants to do something, but he can't, so he stands and dodges. Actually, how much HP does Danny have? Hold on.
Danny.
Yeah, I guess he would have had to make the save too. Hold on. So
You better clutch
Danny
this.
Danny did not make the save, so he also took the damage. He's still alive, but barely. He has 1 HP.
Oh,
But he's still.
oh no.
Oh, we're
Oh,
So, Apara cusses in Celestial and holds up her sword above her head, and it begins to glow in a celestial golden light. And everybody is going to get some HP back. Let me just roll that
Oh, thank God.
as she heals you.
done with some health. Okay.
So everybody gets 16 hit points back.
Okay.
And is freed from any curse, disease, poison, blindness, deafness, or stunned. So
Oh, that's good.
as this angelic light basks on you, Fel is able to look up, and he sees, even though he's convinced he saw everybody die, he looks up, he sees Meep moving. He sees Illyria standing with her spell focus. He sees Dragomir standing there with his hammer. As you all are able to move once more, as this like holy light radiates from Apara's sword, and Apara uses her turn to do that. Autumn is like has like a nosebleed, but is still moving, and takes a needle attack on the brain. Oh, and misses. Okay, yeah, and misses. As her needle just like goes into the ground, and she like wipes blood that kind of looks like tree sap off her nose. And then it's the brain's turn again.
Son of a.
Not the
Sick.
brain.
I'm gonna
Good time.
roll a d6. If I get a 5 or a 6, the mind blast is recharged. So I'll roll that publicly.
Oh, God.
I got a 2.
Okay.
So it is going to tentacle Apara because she's causing problems.
Does Illyria get the sense that this thing can be blinded, or is it just? Does it have eyeballs? Is it just sensing things?
Let me
Does
take
it
a
have a
look.
front?
It doesn't have eyes.
Okay. Can it be blinded? Does blinding matter? She might just do it anyways, just to check. So, Illyria is going to use her warding flare. This is the first time since we leveled up she can actually use it for her allies. But I can impose disadvantage. So basically, she'll send a streak of light out to cause disadvantage. But if it's got like blind sense or true sight or something, then it doesn't matter.
Okay, so for anybody wondering, this is a reaction, which means Illyria can do it outside of her turn. So it doesn't work if it has blind sight.
Yeah, an attacker that can't be blinded is immune. That's how it's worded.
Okay, I have too many tabs open. Where's the brain?
Too many tabs. Too many tabs.
So it does have blind sight. So
course it
unfortunately, it
does.
doesn't
Okay.
do anything.
It was
in
worth
the
a shot.
tentacle.
That was such a good
Yeah.
idea.
Worth a shot. Worth a shot. Yeah, she wouldn't have known. She would have at least tried after
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
mega attack.
absolutely. So you see a tentacle like lash out towards Apara, and you like, cast your spell and try to make something happen, but unfortunately nothing happens, and you see the tentacle wrap around Apara's wrist as she's like holding it in the sky, with like the holy light radiating off of it. And you see like blood start to like run down her arm that she's holding up. As she takes some tentacle damage.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna finish calculating that, and then it'll be Dragomir's turn.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Apara, up until now, her face, like, she's been angry, but she hasn't shown any sign of like pain, and now she looks like she's in some amount of pain. And she is grappled by the brain.
Tentacled and grappled.
Yeah. That's the brain's turn. So Dragomir, you are back and ready. You've lost your concentration spell, but
So Dragomir just sort of picks himself up off the ground. You see him like do one of these, like running his tongue over his teeth. And then he just spits a glob of blood onto the ground and wipes his cheek and just walks towards the brain with like, "You motherfucker," just painted all over his face. And I would
I
like
imagine
to-
there's like an aura around Dragomir as he like looms forward of just like
and he's not
hatred.
running at it. He's literally just like walking at it. Like you were.
Is he like dragging his hammer? Does he have his hammer like up and ready?
He's got it in both hands, but it's a twirl as he walks. So he just kind of spins it and spins it, just like getting ready. And as he gets into range, he pulls it behind two hands, and he's just going to start to swing at this brain.
Hell yeah.
So let me clear all this. Let's see if we hit the brain. Oh, I need to add it. Right, it doesn't do it by default. Ugh. So if it would like to go in, the first is a 12.
That hits.
Okay, let's get some damage. The first attack hits for 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and hit it with my second attack.
Mm-hmm.
Might have the dice roll. The thing lags sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, maybe I didn't push the button. There we go. 25 on the second
Incredible.
roll to hit.
Yeah.
So that is 14 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to action surge. I'm going to hit this thing 2 more times.
Hell yeah, you are.
Hell yeah, you do.
So we see you like go forward slowly and angrily and just full of anger, like swinging your hammer. We see you bring down the hammer and connect. We see brain juice and tentacles go flying. We see you bring it down again. And then when you action surge, do you like speed up? Do we get that same like glowy, sandy color, or what do we
So
see?
the action surge comes, or the glowy sandy comes from the magic in Dragomir. The action surge is the kind of feeling when you see an athlete or someone and you know that they're tired and they're worn out and they just did everything that they could do, and then they just like from some sort of well deep inside that doesn't exist for most people, that can't really be explained, just grits their teeth and just forces through sheer willpower their muscles to do more than it should be able to do.
Hell yeah.
Like eating that last sleeve of Oreos when your body says, no, don't do it.
20 on the first roll, +7, 27.
Nat 20!
Crit.
So I add an extra d10 to this.
You double whatever the damage die is.
Sweet. Come on, 24. Do it. Only 10.
10 damage?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's still a crit, so we still see you like do your best, coolest hit.
And one more attack, because I get to attack twice every time I attack, because 12 on that one. Let's see.
12 hits.
And that's another 11.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dragomir is just like, just wailing on this thing. Like he's mad. He's in the zone. He's like, bleeding down the side of his mouth. Just spit it on the ground a second ago. And he's just hanging on this brain, like all he's got in him.
Yeah, absolutely. And we still because we saw you like wipe the blood off your chin literally before you went in, and before like mentally we were getting this like mental onslaught, and now I almost think it's like Dragomir, it's just like unaffected. Like there's these voices, but they're literally just rolling off because you're like, I have a job to do and I'm gonna do it.
It's almost like it's the fuel that's pushing him to like do what he's doing. Like, come at me, say what you got to say.
Yeah. Incredible. Is that your turn?
That is all of my turn.
Amazing. Fel, you went from thinking your friends were dead to being basked in holy light, getting some health back. You're ready to go. You're up. You just saw Dragomir take a chunk out of this thing.
So I'm gonna assume because Fel was down, like hitting his head and whatnot, for flavor purposes, he's gonna get up and see that Meep's not dead, and like kind of in the bear form, like go over, lick her face, and then like kind of like roll, pick up the glaive.
Oh my god, you're okay too.
Go and attack the tentacle that's grabbing onto Apara.
Okay, amazing.
With the reckless, all the stuff, all the usual stuff.
So the AC will be a little bit higher because there's a very specific spot you're aiming for.
That's fun because it's a natural 20.
Oh my god!
Hell yeah!
About time.
Incredible. So we see you use a glaive, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just see you like roll and like you're moving like very like animal like we see me being like okay and we just see your glaive come down, and the glowing light from Apara's sword as she like held it up so that she could heal you all, and like as there's like blood running down her arm, and as like the light began to fade, and then the glaive just comes through and like chops the tentacle, and it's released, and she's able to like put it back up, and like the glow intensifies as you chop this tentacle up.
Okay, so that's okay, hold on, sorry. 15 plus 6 is 21 by itself, right?
15 plus 6, yep.
And then plus 10 to that. So 31 on that first attack of damage.
Okay.
And we'll do it again. Because double attack.
Hell yeah.
No way. No way.
You did not.
No way. Oh my god.
Get the fuck out.
Are you taking a picture?
I'm taking a picture.
Yeah, we need to.
Because I'm not Oh.
Roll some mother damage on
Kill
that
it.
shit.
Kill it.
So that's 12, 16. So 18 plus 10. So that's 28 on the second one.
How would you like to do this?
Yeah.
I'm going to complete my goal and I am going to attack the tentacle, and I don't know how, or just out of brute strength, I almost want to like put the glaive in my mouth and just crawl up this brain with the claws, get up top to it, and literally just start chopping my way down and splitting this thing in half.
Yeah, and like for flavor, as you're doing this, like we get like the light of Illyria like whipping like cantrips at it, so we get these like bursts of holy light. Meep, if you were attacking while this thing is being torn apart, what would you be doing?
That's such a big question. Like spell wise, or just like visually, what I would be doing?
Like visually, if there's like if you would be casting a spell, like what are you doing to help tear this thing
I'm
apart?
thunderwave. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. My arms are out. Like I am up on the highest point that I can possibly crawl up to, and I'm just the highest pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, so we get like, and everybody, there's like these like bursts, and so like everybody's like hair is like waving from these thunder waves. Illyria, just for flavor, like is it like a guiding bolt that you're like whipping at this thing as it's been being torn apart, or is it fire?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like radiant, like
Yeah. And like Dragomir's in there with his hammer, and like Fel is literally ripping this thing apart with his teeth. And it turns into a mush of puddle and brain goop and tentacles on the ground. And you all stand there for a minute, like all of your chests heaving. Apara and Autumn are also like wiping like blood off of their faces. Like Autumn like leans over, like splits, and like a tooth goes out, and and Apara looks at you and goes, "So, any questions?"
Are there more?
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Covered in brain juice and just disgustingness, I'm gonna run over and give Meep just a giant hug. Still raging, so it's literally a bear hug.
How did you do that?
Where did the brain come from?
I'm imagining that like Fel goes and like hugs Meep, and then like brings in Dragomir, and like brings in Illyria, and just like squeezing
hug?
each other, and just like
Group hug. I love group hugs. She screams that.
So we're gonna do that again.
Hopefully not right now.
Yeah, hopefully not right now.
And then after like you all have a moment, you just like hold each other for a minute and just hold each other and be like, "We are alive. We are okay. We made it through this. We tore this thing apart." And you look over, and then on this cliff, as the sun is setting, you see once again this army of undead, and you see Apara, and like she's like leaning on her sword. And you see Autumn, like holding the needle, looking out across this army and saying, "This is our plan for the invasion." And then the credits begin to roll.
Oh my god. Excuse me? Good job, Del. What a good story.
No, what?
That's it.
That is the end
Oh.
of season 1. So as the credits roll, we see each of you standing and looking out at this army of undead, and as you put together the pieces and realize this army is not for going north, it has nothing to do with the townsfolk or any of the people living here. It has nothing to do with this plane. It has something to do with something that's much larger than yourself. As you stand on the brink of a war, of an invasion with your best friends in the entire world, realizing that this is only just the beginning.
Don't do that. You know what that's gonna do to
I'm trying to make words, but every time I open my mouth to say
I
a
got
word,
nothing.
none come.
I get goosebumps.